All right, and we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast, episode number 65. And it's another glorious Sunday, and we are back at the round table on the Lord's Day. And today, the realm will rejoice. We have the E3 2018 prediction series, the final chapter, and Microsoft is up to bat. We have saved the very best for last, and I'm extremely proud to have all this Xbox royalty here at the round table. So let's get right into it. So I want to introduce a Lord who is an absolute legend in these Xbox streets, has the gamer score to prove it, and is another one of my top 5 dead or alive content creators in the game. This Lord always provides extremely high quality content in a clear, concise, and balanced manner, yet is never afraid to ruffle a few feathers with his brutal honesty. Introducing the creator and host of the Xbox 2 podcast, the man with the million sitting on the achievement iron throne, Mr. Soft Serve himself, my man, Lord Randall Thor. How you doing, sir?
What is going on, guys? I am super excited to be back on the Iron Lords podcast, as this is one of my favorite shows out there, without a doubt. And Cognito, you are the best host.
Much appreciated. Very humbled, sir. Very humbled. So coming from you, very humbled.
Yeah, I don't even think it's at this point. I don't even think it's the whole introduction. I just think it's that introducing.
Is they introducing, but that's about to get you.
He gets you up, and then when he gets to that, he just finishes you off. Introducing.
No doubt. We got Lord Rand. It's an absolute pleasure. One of the Xbox mob bosses in the building. This is a good thing. And of course, last but by no means least, we have one of our most earliest supporters in the realm and an absolute icon at the round table. This Lord is by far one of the most passionate members of the Xbox community, and with a single tweet can galvanize the entire base to focus on what's most important in these gaming streets. Introducing the voice of the people and the Lord everyone is honored to cross paths with at E3. Fellow Met fan, fellow combat sports fan, and the man who puts the beast fire in 4K Scorpio, my man, Lord Timdog. How you doing, sir?
Wow. I love the best in the business at the intros, I have to say. Very happy to be here. And a pleasure. I'm ready to get going on this, as you call it, the mob round table. We might be missing. Somebody might be in the trunk right now. We don't know.
But, might be in the trunk right now. We got to see what's going on with him.
Yeah, but I'm really happy to be here, and this is it. We're a week away. So
week away, man. We're close, show. Man. Absolutely, man. Absolute pleasure, man. It's been fun to have you back on the show. Always fun to have you.
Happy to be here.
No doubt. And of course, we got the 4 horsemen of gaming, those usual suspects at the round table. My co-host with the co-most, my brother from another mother, the difficult game conqueror, and the howl of the young wolf. My man, Lord Addict. How you doing, sir?
What's going on, you guys? Appreciate everyone for showing up. I should be sleeping because apparently that's what I do all the time.
Lord Sleep.
Whatever.
Not today,
I won't go too far into that.
No, we appreciate you, man. The energy levels seem good. I'm feeling that. No doubt. And of course, we have our most technical gaming Lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single player selfish experience, and also the Sostradamus, Mr. Offline Profile Illuminati, and Lord Patreon himself. My man, Lord Sovereign. How you doing, sir?
Doing good, man. I'm excited, man. You got Xbox family in the building after 2 weeks of terrorizing King, and King having to bring smoke. King can lay back and know that he's amongst friends today.
I don't know,
so it's
bro.
gonna be fun. I don't know. It could be smoke. It could be smoke.
It could be smoke, bro. It smells like a setup, bro. I don't know.
I know. Poor King and Addict having to deal with those Sony and Nintendo prediction series. It's suffering.
no, it was painful.
Nah, you know what?
All that
Yeah,
nonsense.
I had no problem with none of those series. I don't want y'all out here running around thinking I don't love these systems. I love these systems. Okay, I'm just not on the hype ball train that people are on.
I'm not that.
Yo,
I'm not that
you
kind
got-
of person that's gonna sit there and be like, I gotta switch to buy indie games. I'm just
Oh
not that
my
kind of guy.
god, he's doing terrible. And
Yeah.
okay,
Real quick though, on that Patreon tip, guys, today's gonna be the first day that we go into our our monthly shout outs and everything, our prize giveaways. For the Patreon, we're gonna leave it for the end of the show, so please stick around after outros. We're gonna make sure everybody gets their just due and gets their big ups for coming out and supporting us. So please, at the end of the show, after outros, stick around. We're gonna do all that good stuff.
Absolutely, Lord Patreon with the announcement. Thank you. And of course, we got the Incredible Hulk of this, aka the Excess Gamer.
Ooh.
The Lord of Combat Sports, who is a man of his convictions, demands nothing less than that premium experience, and is the Get Money Gamer.
Ooh.
Beloved.
There was a pause between that. Ooh.
Yeah, right. Nah, I don't know.
Lord King, how are we doing, sir?
We're doing fantastic. You know what it is today. It's Phil Appreciation Day. And I am out here raising that flag for Phil Appreciation. Yo, Phil, for real, I got this. I see the setup, but I ain't gonna fall for that trap, Phil. Check this out. I just want to give a shout out and a thanks to everybody that's showing all the support. It's so fantastic to see it. It's overwhelming. I really had a pick, my own pick, in t-shirts that I thought was gonna be like the standout pick. It's always standing and it's easy to go with that black, but that white is moving though, and it's really crazy. I'm gonna give a show of the shirts at the end and give you the swag and tag while we at E3. So y'all can follow along. Cognito and I during this week we're gonna drop a swag and tag video showing off the shirts again separately from the podcast, so you guys can follow and understand how to follow us in California. If you're out there at E3, how to find us at E3, because it's very important that you find us for the free game raffles.
Facts.
All right, it's 3 games that will be raffled off, and this is what the raffles look like. The raffles is attached to a card. You have to see a Lord, and the Lord will give you a card. On that card, it would be a raffle. And on that raffle, you get a game. Maybe you might win.
All right,
Also, when you buy a shirt, you get a free raffle. All right? So, good luck, guys.
No doubt. All right, so of course we have the Shinobi Gaming Ninja himself, LordCognito, spreading that realness in the realm of the ILP, not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. So let's get into what the Lords are playing with this week. Let's start with Lord Rand. What have you been playing this week?
Yeah, well,
because he keeps killing me in gamer score. I don't know what he's playing.
If I'm beating you in gamer score, then you are pathetic.
I all right. You done opened up some stuff now. Let's see.
I'm just saying. I haven't been playing for gamer score in months, and I basically played PUBG again for this entire month. So if I'm still beating you, then you ain't nothing.
So basically, you gave us a lane to catch up with your PUBG love, is what you're saying.
Exactly. And not only that, but I've been on that PS4 playing Detroit.
No doubt.
Don't get no achievements, so you can't complain this month. Me.
Okay,
Easy on you.
I
Catch
can't
up.
see the last month. You lucky. Oh no, I can't. You got 3,450.
And that's pathetic. That is
pathetic. But you have a million gamer score. Okay,
exactly.
That's pathetic.
That's pathetic.
I
normally
1,500, and that's a lot for me. Okay.
Well, it wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough.
Wasn't good enough to catch the man with the million. No doubt. So that's pretty much all you've been playing this week?
What I played the crew beta.
Okay,
the
cool.
crew 2 beta. I actually really like that.
Mhm.
I actually can't wait to play
Kid
it.
was raging playing it last night.
I saw him on my map. I felt I kind of thought maybe I should go like bump into him, but
Don't please, man. If you would have did that, he might have died from a heart attack.
Didn't Kid say that he was happy with it until he started flying a plane?
Yes.
Was that something?
Yeah, I heard planes were like controlled horribly.
yeah, the planes. They're my least favorite, but I really like the driving and the boats and stuff. So I enjoyed that. Detroit Become Human was a great experience on the PlayStation, but I am a fan of that genre of game.
Me too. I'm the same way. I just started it this week too.
Yep.
The interactive movie cinematic experience.
Walking simulator.
Yeah, game looked gorgeous. Has some really good moral choices. Great story. Great cast. Voice acting is amazing in that game.
Nice.
What else have I been playing this month?
I don't hear any State of Decay.
I played State of Decay. I played it. You know, I put about like 20
I played
hours
it.
into it.
I did my penance.
It's just it's not my thing, man. It's just not my thing. Like I played it for 20 hours and that's about it, man. Like I don't really feel compelled to go back and play it. Same thing like with Sea of Thieves. I
mean, you did put 20 hours into it.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just I see why people like it. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of like managing a community and doing all that stuff. It honestly felt like a lot of busy work. Like I just want to go and like clear the plague hearts and kind of like do all that stuff. But the game requires you to be like, hey, there's an infestation. Go get rid of that. And then you go get rid of the infestations, and then 2 more infestations pop up. And I'm just like, man, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
I think that game would have a lot more mass popularity if they included some sort of mode that just made like let you do the actiony stuff, like you said, the plague hearts and the shooting and like killing things, and then just give you the option if you want to do all the, all the like base building stuff. Because I can see how that can get tedious if that's not your thing.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. No doubt. So that's pretty much what's been going on with Lord Rand. Lord Timdog, what you been rocking this week, man? What you been playing?
It's pretty funny because I've been playing State of Decay, and it is a game that Rand blows through games. Like Rand's the type of guy that'll get a game and you call him the next day and he'll be like, "Yeah, I just finished it." And I'm like, "What? You finished it already?" He's like, "Yeah, I really liked it." But
Rand's the kind of guy that gets triple whatever the average person gets a game score and says, "That's trash."
No, but Rand really does know how to blow through a game and really take what's all about it and take it in and decipher it and stuff. And I do agree with him in the fact that the game stresses me out. I like the game, but it stresses me out. Like I don't like the feeling that like when I go to my inventory and I look at my my thing and I see all red, my people are dying, people are having
stat
morale.
It's crisis management.
Crisis management. The game never gives you that sense of like calm for any extended periods of time. That's a good point.
Yeah, and then somebody's breaking into your outpost.
The world.
Yeah, I mean they did nail that part of it. It is the end of the world, and it really feels like the end of the world. But the fact is,
I'm just curious what like your mental status on what the end of the world is.
That
That
is the end of the world for me. Driving around at night.
What is like the most silly end of the world apocalypse that's ever been made?
I don't know.
That's LordCognito.
Was it?
Okay.
No, but I've been playing
Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah, that was pretty
let's hear Tim what Tim been playing, man.
No, but I do feel that I do feel like it's a good game, but it misses it would benefit from having, I think Sovereignty said, the arcade mode, because there is never a downtime. There's never where you could just sit back and feel like, oh well, I feel good about this and this is going. The game is hectic. But some people love that type of stuff, and I think that it's a good game. It's a very difficult game for me, at least. You know what I mean, to handle all that stuff, because
absolutely,
like I said, I feel like I'm always I played with Addict, we played, and I have fun like that. I like playing on somebody else's server and gathering stuff.
Yeah, because I don't have to deal with the stress.
Yeah, exactly. It really is.
It is true.
And I actually been playing. Believe it or not, I'm almost at the end. I've been playing Gears 2.
Really?
And I have to say, I'm playing Gears 2. You play a game like this, and you saw how Microsoft at the time got it. Like that's what Xbox. We're going to go into that, but that's what Xbox players want. They want those type games. I mean, that game, playing that game is just epic. Even though you're playing it enhanced and it's a old game,
still looks fantastic.
It still looks fantastic, but just the scope and the size of it, and just the way you're fighting the locust, and you're going into her, you're breaking into where she is, and you have to get to the middle of the place or whatever, the Empire, and just the way they set it up. Presentation is fantastic. I have to say, it made me kind of even, like I said, we're going to probably all talk about this, but even question where Microsoft is now. I mean, they need that. They need something like that.
I hear you. I hear where you're going. We're going to get into it. What's up, Tom?
Tim kind of took one of my predictions. he started to talk about it.
No doubt, Lord Addict, what you been playing this week, man?
To be honest with you, just a little bit of everything. I've been playing a lot of. I've been playing Smite.
Oh, really? What brought you bring that out the cloud? What's up with that?
Yo.
He said, "Oh."
He said, "Yo."
Look, I can't go into that right now.
But, this sounds like a project, something that you're being forced to do.
Yeah. This sounds like
you can call it that.
It sounds like that.
Sounds like money's being exchanged, right, to play this.
No, there's no money exchange. But...
It's not. It's in affections, maybe. It's
possibly.
Yeah.
But I was watching. Well, first off, I started playing before they announced Games with Gold, and then when a lot of people don't know this, but that Games with Gold for Smite, that's not even on the store.
Really?
Like, I looked on, I was like, well, what is that? Because I was gonna buy some heroes, and I was like, I'm not gonna buy heroes that they're gonna give the heroes to me at the middle of the month. And I looked on the store, and that's not on the store. That's nowhere to be found in the store. I have no clue what that is.
Okay, all right. So that's pretty much it. Just been all Smite all day, every day. That's what it is.
Not every day. I've been playing some Dark Souls 2 actually.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, you like digging in the crates this week? I like that.
Can I ask a question?
Go for it.
Addict, the Smite. There was a lot of people were taking shots at Xbox and the games for gold for being free. Do you feel like that was, being that you're a big Smite fan, it was a value thing, or do you think it was bullshit?
I like how Tim called him a big Smite fan. I love that.
He took a crazy shot at him.
Being that that's your genre.
Like, at the end of the day, it might not be what people want it to be, but Smite's a huge game and a lot of people play it, and it's a free-to-play game. So all you have to literally do is download it, and if it said $99 on there, that's got to be all the heroes. So, regardless how people, I'm not even a big Smite fan. I think I put
$99.
Yeah, on the little games with Gold thing, it said it was $99 and slashed to free. It's not on the store. I have no clue what it is. So I guess
it has to be some stuff. Nah, he said $99.
At the end of the day, we don't really. It's not for us, but I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna like that shit. I'm not one of them. I would have preferred something else, but
Well, Rand, weren't you a big Smite fan back in the day, Rand?
Yeah,
people low key.
I played a ton of Smite.
Well, I know, because I know Rand's gaming habits. We talk about it. I remember when I was like, this guy's on Smite all the time.
Slim got the dirt. I love it.
This has turned into TMZ.
I put about I'd say 150 hours.
Here's the question: did you tweet about how it was trash, Rand?
Nah, Smite ain't trash, but it's trash for being included in games with gold.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
look, at the end
I'm
of the
not
day,
a fan of that.
It could have definitely been way better, but let's be 100. It could have been way worse. Like people, like at least you can literally just play that and probably have people to play it with, have plenty of content to do. They could have gave us some shit that they're gonna throw in Game Pass. Oh, that is the first part, but they could have did that for the second
We're not
part.
even getting past what people's been playing before we can get. This is going to be a lit show.
Yeah, this is gonna be
Because
like
I've noticed something that is a little something that's happening there, and I see it, and I'm enjoying it.
I mean, Addict, of
Boss
course
Move
it
said,
could be.
"Push a Timdog."
Push
a Timdog.
We're still missing Dealer.
We still missing Dealer. He's in the truck.
You know, you're right when you said it could be worse. I mean, they did give us Brave.
Oh,
like,
wow.
And that
while
did not
back.
stop Kid from playing Brave. Low
I
key.
mean, I know. Trust me, like I played Brave back on the 360, but I'm just saying.
No, I'm not validating that. That was trash. I'm just saying.
There's like, hey,
Did you 100% Brave? Did you get all the gamer score?
oh, you're damn right I did.
Talk that talk, man. Put your
If
chest
you're
out.
gonna play Brave, you better get all the achievements. Otherwise,
Right,
what are you
let
playing
the young
it
wolf
for?
know.
What are you playing it for? But look, like people pay for Xbox Live Gold. Yeah, the majority, probably the vast majority, play it to get the multiplayer access, maybe the party chat stuff. But the quality of the free games, technically, really hasn't been up to snuff lately. And
Save that thought too. I want to get into that too.
We're gonna get into that.
Oh, you're gonna get into it? All right,
We'll get into it. Hold on to that one right there.
I think a lot of this
Hit
stuff,
those
there's
likes,
a reason
guys.
behind
Hit
it.
those
There's
likes.
definitely a reason behind
We're
it.
gonna touch that. Speaking of which, Lord Soft, what have you been playing this week, man?
So not that much. I threw on State of Decay a little bit yesterday. I wanted to see how the new patch was.
Yes.
I didn't have too much. I couldn't honestly. I didn't look at the patch notes. I
don't
don't know
test
exactly
the
what
cooperative
it
aspect,
did.
so you would know.
Yeah, that's true.
We
I
don't
just
get
wanted
those
to
invites.
I just wanted to see if I wasn't, clipping through the world anymore, because I think to me that was
I've been told it.
that was the one thing that was happening.
I've been told it made stuff worse on PC.
Really? Oh,
Really?
wow.
Sucks for them.
Yeah, so I mean, it was fine for me. I didn't notice anything crazy different. There were times where I get stuck in a car in a railing on the road or whatever, and it would not come out. And then like that rewind function doesn't work when you're in a car. It's only when you're on foot. So you'd be screwed, and you just have to leave the car behind and whatever. So now I was able to go in reverse, and it came out. So I'm assuming they fixed some stuff in that regard.
Gotcha.
And then beyond that, I downloaded Detroit, but I haven't been able to play it yet. So I'm excited to get that started. And
They're
I'm
calling
playing
you
Street
out,
Fighter
Sovereign.
Collection.
They said stop hiding on
Yeah,
Xbox.
Punch this. Stop hiding, man. I said,
Yeah.
don't worry.
Punch, go to that Patreon, my friend. Go to that Patreon. It's
we
there
got a
for
new tier
you.
specifically for Saul.
Yep.
Oh, I forgot to mention, guys. There's a couple new tiers that have been added to Patreon to sort of express each Lord's individual personality traits. So to say,
Hashtag get Saul out of the Illuminati.
Thank you. That's right. Like they balanced it out. So it's not all King dying.
It's not all King dying. Yeah.
Hey, let's be real here. Addict gonna do 18 of these before King do one.
Right. Because listen, my tears are death defying.
Your
If these
tears ain't
dudes
never gonna be
group up
used.
and just yep, so thank you. I don't care about that. If they group up and say, yo, let's kill King this week and make him do that chip challenge while we watching, no, I could die on air. What are you, crazy? No.
Speaking of which, Lord King, what have you been playing this week?
Like Mr. Lord Randall Thor, I've been playing my PUBG. Ooh.
Y'all two need to get together. Like seriously, Rand. Like the PUBG that he plays and the PUBG amount of PUBG that King plays. Like
I feel like they're playing different games.
Yeah, it's got to be like they got to play together at some point.
What you mean we playing different games? Because I'm having too much fun with it? He's having fun too.
Cut it up. The same game. I gotta see this stream.
Okay, we'll do that. That'll work. There's no problem with that. I have no problem with that.
Rand got his squad, right?
Also, I've been doing
the Rand squad's real serious, man.
Yeah, they serious.
Yeah, see, that's what it is when you jump on to play PUBG, and this is the problem that I'm having with PUBG. This is the only problem that I'm having. The squads, I have really probably a strong 15 friends that I can play with. And if we can get squads 25 against 25, that'd be great. Then I can actually play with my whole roster of dudes.
Man.
But I'm rotating with people, putting people in groups of 4 here, groups of 4 there. Let me slide over to Destiny here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me come back and do this here. So really, my gamer score will never move with these games this fashion.
Say like Red, he's like,
So
this is catch-up time for y'all.
I mean, it's
right.
at the point
I'm
where,
never catching up to a million gamer score. Okay, I'll
yeah,
die.
I have to tell you, it's at the point when you play with Rand that if you're in a party with the 4 guys, they're so serious. Like Rand's just like, he's like, yo, I'll hit me up later. Like that's how serious they are.
Yeah, no.
I love that because that means like you don't want anyone in the party chat talking and messing with your concentration.
Right.
Yeah,
'cause they are that
we have to
serious.
listen to it. We have to listen to the environment. That game is so immersive that we listen to the environment, we listen to the squad. We got to call out numbers. We got to check stuff. If somebody
call
needs
out
to heal, we have to
numbers. What are
flame.
you
Yeah,
talking
man.
about?
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
numbers. That's hard.
You gotta call them
Wait,
out, you know, fucking person behind the rock at 240.
Well, that's calling out enemies.
all right.
That's calling out enemies. That's
Did
not
you
calling
just
out
understand
numbers.
that? Did you just understand that, Addict? He understood it when I said it.
No,
You don't understand it.
Why don't you let me finish my statement?
Go for it.
You acting like it's like a raid in Destiny. You got to call out numbers, not enemies. That's 2 entirely different things.
Bruh, coordinates. You're calling out. Let me articulate it in human speak opposed to PUBG speak. Okay, because we yell out. We don't have
so
enough
you
time
say
to
numbers.
say coordinates.
Okay, got
Yell out coordinates. We ain't got enough time for that. We have enough time to say yell out them numbers. That's it. So
it's been primarily PUBG for you this week.
you know what it is.
I already know what it is. For me, it's just been like I said, I've been so busy, man. Obviously, we know we're prepping for next week and everything. But I did a little Destiny, a little State of Decay. I touched the State of Decay after the 20 gig patch, like very minutely, but I did see some differences. There's some improvement. Did a little co-op, seen some differences there. Shout out to Sonaldo. He did some PC crossplay. It was fine on my side, so it was good. And then actually, just like Rand, I started Detroit Became Human. I did the first chapter. Game is fantastic. Again, you have to be into that kind of walking simulator kind of thing, and I love it. Graphics fantastic, so I've been feeling it. So that's been me. So obviously we're gonna get into what we are here for, and that's the prediction series. It's Microsoft terms, so we're right on the cusp of E3, and the excitement is building. So I figured we switch this thing up, a little mafioso style. So we bring some of the most powerful Xbox and mob families together for a meeting to talk about this thing of
Why
ours.
are you talking like you in the mob now?
Don't worry about it.
I love it.
It's La Console Nostra, all right? And let's talk,
I think I need to leave, man. Like, I don't want. Like, you making me think I'm going to testify now.
Let's talk with Lord Ren, the dawn of the powerful Xbox 2 mob family, State of the Union with Microsoft heading into
I can't
E3.
take you seriously right now. I just can't.
And how we feel about Xbox as the brand, the highs, the lows of the year so far. Is there any pressure from Microsoft coming in?
You need to stop that, man.
Don Rand, the floor is yours.
Okay, how am I supposed to follow that up?
You almost did the voice too.
What's that?
Let's start with coming in. Let's start with the actual, the state of Xbox coming in. You know what I'm saying? As far as like just in general, how we're feeling about the brand, the highs, any lows you want to talk about, and just is there pressure for Microsoft coming in?
I think Microsoft has the most to prove out of any of the companies going into E3. I think a lot of people are craving a roadmap. They want to know the game's coming not only for this year but for next year and beyond. Whereas their competition has provided like the roadmap since 2016, basically. So people want to know, like, is there a Fable? Is there a Perfect Dark? When's the next Halo? When's the next Gears? And the cry of the Xbox fan has been for years now. And Tim has kind of led the charge on this. It's been maybe not this year, but previous years. Wait for E3. Always wait for E3 every year. And Tim, I think you said this was the last year you'd say that, right?
Yeah, I'm out of bullets.
Yeah, he told me that last year. So
yeah, I told you that right too. We talked right after the show.
Yep.
You weren't happy, and I could understand why. I mean, you know, it's just we're out of bullets.
So needless to say that, you know, Lord Rand, like we feel that the pressure is there because obviously we need to have an idea of the future. That's kind of like we want that roadmap, so to speak, right? So and almost like a breaking of protocol, so to speak, of what normally happens at an E3. We kind of usually get that.
This year's different. Like last year, known quantities were shown off. Sea of Thieves, State of Decay, Crackdown. And even in previous years, you would know what to expect because they revealed stuff so early.
Right.
But this is the first E3 in a long time where it's literally okay. It's just Crackdown and nothing else. You don't know anything else. Yeah, the third parties will be there. The third parties will be plentiful. They'll be great as they always are. But unfortunately, third-party games can be played anywhere. Right. They can be played best on Xbox right now, which is good for Microsoft. But their third parties are basically, they're basically just whores, man. Anybody can have a turnout. They're not. I mean, it's true. People tune in to watch these conferences to see the exclusive experiences that they can have on their platform of choice that they prefer. People tune into Sony's to check out, what is Last of Us 2 going to be like, or Death Stranding, or Ghost of Tsushima. They don't really care that Call of Duty's there, or Red Dead maybe there, or whatever. That's not what the talk is about. It's about those exclusive games. People want to tune into Microsoft's. Yeah, there'll be Metro, there'll be Cyberpunk and stuff like that, and that'll get some talk. But the conversation afterwards will be, what is Microsoft doing exclusive-wise? What's Gears up to? What's Halo up to? Is there a new IP? And if Microsoft doesn't deliver on that front, people are going to be upset, quite frankly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they're going to revolt this one. I think this one, if they don't bring them darts, because when it's my turn, I'm going to give you exactly, how I feel the state of the situation is. But I don't want to jump too much into. Let the guests go.
Let Rand finish up.
For me personally, it's not a make or break for me. Right.
Okay, because that's the narrative out here, Lord Rand.
Because I have every system.
Right.
If I want to play something on PlayStation that they provide, I'll play it there.
Right.
I want to play something on Switch, I'll play it there. Hell, I have a brand new PC. It's got a 1080 in it. Like I can play any game pretty much in 4K on my PC if I wanted to. I don't. So I'm kind of looking at Xbox. I'm like, okay, what are you bringing? Like, sure, we know all about the problems they had in the past. Terry Myerson squeezing the budget, Phil finally taking over, Xbox being removed from underneath Windows to its own separate division to make decisions in the benefit for Xbox. We know about all these things. And yes, I know that games take a long time to build. Games like God of War, 5 years. And I'm not expecting a miracle within a year turnaround. So I'm going into this E3 with about low expectations. Lower than last year because the games that I think people want and that they are making just aren't ready to show yet because they're still 2 to 3 years away.
You're making fantastic points. I just want to cut you on one thing because just the counterpoint to what you're saying. I think everything you're saying is accurate. The counterpoint to what I'm hearing for what you're saying is that people say, hey, I invested in this brand and they have disappointed me this entire generation. Like, we need to, quote unquote, be on them to be better. And it's unacceptable to say, hey, wait till next year. What do you say to that contingent who are pretty much on their last straw and they're frustrated with Microsoft right now? They're frustrated with Xbox. What do you say to that group?
I mean, if you're frustrated with Microsoft, that is your personal right as a consumer. And I mean, I can't tell you not to move away or to stay. I mean, that's on Microsoft to prove they're in it to win it, that they have things that people want. If you're like, are we talking about someone who legitly is moving, or one of those people that quote unquote fake people who are concerned about X.
No, I've seen this. I mean, I'm not gonna say any names or whatever, and I've got a lot of friends that they're like, look, man, this is it. If I don't see anything from, and they passionately love Microsoft, and they say, hey, if they don't see anything from them this year, that's it. They're not buying any more Microsoft products, for the next gen.
I'll say, you want to make your voice heard. You know what speaks the loudest?
Woo!
Dollar bills, baby.
Dollar talk that talk,
Dollar
Lauren.
bills. If you want to put your money where your mouth is, if Microsoft doesn't provide you what you want,
don't put your money where your mouth is.
I would say move your purchases to PlayStation. Microsoft will see the drop in revenue. They'll see that stuff. That's the only thing you can do. I mean, sure, you can get up on Twitter and you can cry and complain, and you can make YouTube videos crying and complaining.
Tiki torches.
But that's also the thing is, like, Microsoft has heard all that.
Right.
Like they know that people are not in like the best of moods or like not really feeling it right now. But like it's a video game industry. Like everything went behind it. The whole Terry Myerson stuff, like the no budget that Xbox has. Now they do. They're already in for next gen. Problem is, unfortunately, the fruits of those labors aren't going to be seen for a long time. So we can get up here and complain and bitch about it. It's just I don't know what else to even say because they've heard it, they're working on it, they can't show it. So in the meantime, if you're really about that life, then buy the multi-plats on PlayStation.
Talk that talk.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're really at that point where you're disappointed in it and you're upset, that there are 2 other consoles to play on. Because if you're at that point and then you continue to give Microsoft money, what are you telling Microsoft? At that point, you're telling Microsoft that you're perfectly happy with what you're doing. Because at the end of the day, and this is the last thing I'll say in this, actions speak louder than words.
Salute that man right there. Lord Rand is killing it right now. Let's get Lord Timdog in the building with the state of Microsoft heading into E3. What's your feeling? You feel the pressure? Do you feel, and I also want to talk about Lord Timdog. What do you feel actually were like the highs and the lows of the year so far? So the floor is yours.
Just going into what Rand said, I think that Rand really kind of laid it out there. I think Microsoft's answer to Rand would be, we know, but the fact is that Twitter is minority and YouTube is a minority. The fact is we're making money, and they're making profit. Now, when we talk about Xbox and state Xbox, for me personally, I think right now what you're seeing is a reciprocal effect of not game producing for 2 years. And that black hole that they have is now rearing its ugly head. And going into this E3, I have said it's a make or break.
You feel so? I've seen your timeline, Tim. You've been very adamant.
But if I'm going to be honest, I don't think that they're gonna quiet down the people that are upset right now. I think
no, they're not, Tim. You know this as well as I do.
I think that you have to go into that legitimately understanding they're not going to hit a home run here. They're not going to hit the grand slam that we all want. I wish I could say to you, guys, just wait. Sony beware, and I wish I could get behind that train, and believe me, that's what I really, really want. As a huge fan of them, I really want to be in that position. But realistically, I look at how the gen has went, and some of the things that have been said, and some of the promises that have not really been kept. That I do think that they are in like kind of a rebuilding stage, and you are talking about the first year of rebuilding. So they just signed their stars, but their stars, they can't show them right now because they're in single A ball and they're nowhere near as ready. While you have games like Fable and Perfect Dark that I would say I'm over 80% sure that they're both in development as we speak. You're not going to see them. Halo 6, you're not going to see because that's kind of been done. They kind of pushed that back. I think that Gears 5 is actually moved in front of it, and I do think that we might see Gears 5.
So we won't even get a Master Chief with the poncho in the desert. We won't even get the trailer.
No, I don't think that you will, and I hope that I'm wrong. I do think that you might get. What you might get is I do think that they're going to talk with this new guy in the Santa Monica studio, and
Daryl Gallagher.
Yeah, I think Daryl Gallagher and Booty are both going to kind of give you that roadmap and say that I'm hoping that they say that they invested this amount of money and they have this amount of IPs coming, kind of like what they did in 2013, which was actually a very good show, but as you know was flipped on its head. But if they could duplicate like that type of show, that would be a huge win in my eyes because then they're at least giving the roadmap. But I'm not expecting a big E3. I'm expecting my expectations are average.
Okay.
I do think that we're going to get these are things that I'm going to predict. I think we're going to get something on the service side, which means might piss people off. But I do think that they have some type of whether that it's an Xbox Cloud, there's something that is going to, have a lot of value to it, and is going to be another, type of thing that they stick to you as a gamer of Xbox. So I do think that is good, but obviously it's not what the meat and potatoes what we want.
Right.
So I do think you'll see that. I do think that you will see Gallagher and Booty give a semi roadmap, and I do think they will talk about the new studio and what they're building. I do think that Phil will actually talk about some of this. So I do think that in that case, we will get some of the assurances that we kind of want, but I don't think that we'll be able to see them. And that's going to be where the show kind of doesn't hit its home run because you're not going to see Fable. You're not going to close on Perfect Dark. Rand, who has excellent sources, and, if you want to check out his E3 prediction video, I think that
money
is pretty much on target.
A lot of realistic things, he said.
Rand last year had told me they were closing on a trip on a third party way before this, and he told me about Anthem, and I knew about it. I keep my sources. I keep it quiet. So
I was saying that Rand is snitching. I'm just joking.
Rand knows. Rand knows that he could trust me in the way that he knows that and I've given him stuff too. But the thing is that he might have heard the same thing again, which I think that you're closing on the AAA multi-plat is kind of not a great statement. I hope that's not true. I'm hoping that they close on Gears 5. So I'm going to say that they can close on Gears 5 with footage.
Okay.
And that's pretty much where it's going to be. I think that you're going to have a. You said the highs and lows. The highs have been Xbox One X is clearly a tremendous system.
Absolutely.
And
I don't think I get enough credit for that.
The X is amazing. I agree with you. That's the high. That's the high.
That is the high of the highs.
What's the low?
The lows are just the continued. You see the competition, and it's hard to say a low is coming from the competition, but the competition, like when I played Gears 2, like I said, this is what I want. You got the competition right now, absolutely just killing it, and it puts them in a precarious position. You know what I mean? So even though that they've gotten a lot of games that Sony had exclusive, like supposedly Nier, and they got Hellblade, and they did a good job on that front. It really doesn't matter because those games have already been out, and they've been out a year. And
right. It's kind of like the No Man's Sky thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. I think that they've done a decent job kind of recovering on the game aspect, but I do think that because of what the competition's doing, it just kind of kills their situation. It kind of kills their talking point. So the lows have been just I just think that they're in a situation where they're getting killed on social media. It's like Jez said to me, he goes, "Oh, Tim, what do you think?" I says, "Well, I think Twitter and YouTube is going to be bad for a long time for Xbox. I think it's going to be just a bash fest. But I do think in the overall aspect, Xbox is doing good. It's just that from the social media they're going to get killed and." I don't expect any of that to turn around, unfortunately.
Fair
You know,
assessment.
they gotta really work hard now and build back faith. I don't think that they're
Yes.
gonna lose mass fans like I originally. I think that they've already started to lose. When you see guys like Kev and you see Jez, not the other Jez, and you see Red Dragon even's kind of like done with Xbox.
You see a lot of the hardcore.
You
that's
see all the hardcore guys,
Mhm.
and then you see also the hardcore the Xbox guys
Mhm.
that were once Xbox guys now even saying, "Oh, I'm getting a PC." F
Mhm.
Xbox. I'm not
See
even
that
on the
language too.
So they're getting
Mhm.
the brunt of that. But
Mhm.
I do think that
Mhm.
it's just a rebuilding phase, and I do think hopefully if they get this right, we can get some of these games that
Mhm.
other competitions have had, these the ones that they've been dying for, the AAA bangers that
Yeah.
are deep in scope and push a real powerful narrative.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's get the Lords in on this. Lord Attic, what's your feeling on the state of Microsoft and Xbox coming into E3?
Do we really have enough time?
Yeah, just because you could just breeze through. Just a feeling. Just a feeling.
I do think that they got a narrative that, the minority might not speak for a lot, but the minority on Twitter and YouTube is what's given the perspective. And right now they are losing the perspective on every corner because who do you think's on Twitter and stuff? People that sell their product. They keep seeing stuff like that. I mean, it's no secret that the retailers they'll favorite the majority. GameStop and all them. I'm sure, low key behind closed doors, they're being asked to push more PlayStation product than Xbox product because they get more PlayStation product. It's just at the end of the day, if you can't change that perspective, that narrative, you can't really do a whole lot. And I understand they don't want to show stuff because
Shout out to Jez. He said they're gonna announce a shopping cart for the Windows. Yeah, out of control right now. Continue.
like I understand where they're coming from. I understand that they don't want to show games and have another sale bound direction. And to be honest with you, I don't see it happening. But
Gotcha.
at the end of the day, can they go another 2 years? Can they go another year or two not announcing anything before I mean, you have people that's been on YouTube, and I know it's like I said, it's the minority, but when they're getting thousands of views, 20 to 40,000 views, like that's the narrative going down the shithole. Like
What you said is very true. It sets a perspective.
Yeah.
And I've kind of not to interrupt, but it kind of just to add. I've kind of had this argument with some of the Xbox people, and I don't think that they get that. I do think that they underestimate the YouTube community. They definitely underestimate what they see on Twitter. Some of the stuff's like the red flags that you see, like when Gears of War, God of War's coming out, and you got like guys like some of the mixer guys just going nuts, and just like at the end of the day, when you push that out, you kind of make yourself look weak, and you make yourself look like you're not.
See, here's the big thing that Sony's killing Microsoft right now from is they got stuff to market that looks appealing. Where do you think their market right now? People keep saying, the people on Twitter aren't the hardcore. Yeah, but the hardcore, what they're doing? They're going on YouTube. They're watching Fortnite gameplay. When they go into these streams and these, what do you think ads are popping up? God of War. You don't see any other kind of ads popping up. You might see a Sea of Thieves ad pop up, and people are like, "Oh, that looks cool." But then the next ad that pops up, God of War is like, "Nah, I'm getting a PS4." Like. That is what they're losing. It's like I said from the start, like once almost 9 times out of 10, if you lose coming out the gate, you lose the whole generation.
And we all know that they stumbled out the gate. They had one of the worst starts out the gate.
Because sure, I think at the beginning of the generation, that's when hardcore is the most vital to get that hardcore audience. Because a lot of the times, who's going to be buying consoles day one? Hardcore. There's going to be casuals in there, obviously. You got people like King David got more money than they know what to do with, so they're going to go buy that dumb shit. But, at the end of the day, it's who do you think convinces people to buy what? If you have 1,000
hardcore.
hardcore Xbox Ones and you have 15,000 PS4s, and you're gonna have the 15,000 people tell their friends before you know that 15's 40,000.
Right.
And then you have the 1,000 Xbox Ones, and that 1,000's 4,000.
No, it's a domino effect. It's definitely a domino effect. There's no doubt about that.
And I do think that's where they lost. It wasn't like, it was
Still
the marketing,
losing.
obviously. That is the moment they came out and they lost from that big gap. The hardcore always.
Yeah, but we already know what they lost at. What we talking about is the state of affairs going in.
But that's what I'm talking about.
We regurgitating the failures of the beginning.
Nothing
is
has
not going to change anything.
But
about
I think
what's
a lot
going
of
on
it.
At this prior moment.
Gary solved
A lot
that
of
thing
that-
and move on.
A lot of that, the thing is, what King mentions is true, but at the same time, a lot of that goes back to not recognizing the mistakes you made in the past and how they've affected where you are right now. Like it's to hear them going into E3.
I got you.
Right. To hear them going into E3 and not and they're gonna be safe with their announcements and not recognizing the magnitude and the power of what quote unquote winning E3 means. Then it kind of feels like they're haven't paid attention to what put them in this place to begin with, and that's a scary thing because regardless to what I think they're at a point where they have to be confident enough in what they're bringing down the pipeline to say, all right, at least one thing that's 3 years out, 2 years out, we're gonna announce it because we know it's coming.
Breaking protocol syndrome.
At the end of the day, I think their best case scenario, we've talked to Rand, we know this ain't going to happen, is they need to take the most ideal franchise that they have in development that they know for a fact is coming out, and they show that shit this year. Because let's be honest, like I understand they're getting up to next gen, they ain't going to have next gen. They're just not, because when you go into next gen off like nothing, what do you think?
Basically, you want that momentum coming in, right? That's what you're saying.
Well, what happened with the PS3 to PS4? They came off of the PS3 with Last of Us.
Yeah, I mean, but I just want to say something because I think you guys are really making great points. You talk about and I think this ties into what Alex said. You talk about and the way that they started off this gen. Everyone said don't announce DRM or do what Sony did. Everyone said that up to that day. If they had if they had listened to that hardcore, they just would have said, "Guess what? You can get your games for free." It's not bad. They could have done that, and they would have been a huge hit. Then everyone would have looked at 2013 show for what it was.
Right.
So now you have a
to be
situation.
fair, no, go ahead, Tim.
But
now you have a situation. It's kind of the same thing. We're all here saying, do what Sony did. Look at Sony. Nobody cares. Everyone's saying, "Oh, that's great. We're going to see 4 games
Sony was
already now."
dead, bro. They were
Sony
dead in the water.
2016.
It was a softball that this guy just couldn't hit over the gate. And the softball was lobbed to him. He didn't hit it over the gate. Actually, he bunted it to first base and got called out. Like, it was horrible. I sat there and I watched them, and I watched Sony push back their show for an hour, and they said, "Get the DRM out of the box."
But this goes back to the point.
Who sat there and loaded up their PlayStation day one? And had to put, of course,
Cognito used to say, but it's not Sony versus Microsoft. It's Microsoft versus Sony's marketing team.
Yeah. But what about like we just said? We all just said what we wanted, and let's say the show is still not finalized.
Right.
Show the games. Show the games that you have in development.
Just show.
Yeah. Break
have the guts to say, you know what, this game is not getting canceled. It's gonna come out, whether it's 2 years, and show it.
And they're not gonna do that. And to be honest, that shows me what.
That's disheartening.
Okay, there was an E3. I think it was 14. I can't remember the one that Tomb Raider was announced. Which one was that? Tomb Raider Rise.
2015.
I thought that was a great pacing show. They showed everything that's coming out this year and next year, and then they had like a segment after all that showed stuff that's in the future. And like that's the kind of pacing that you need. People don't want.
Who's to say they're not gonna have that pacing this year?
People want. See, we're not. This is speculation, King. I can't say because it's next week. I'm not a time traveler, King.
I know. You don't have any faith either. Addict.
I got
Hurry up,
I
Atticus.
gotta
King
address-
gotta
I gotta
get off,
address-
man. We gotta move on.
I'm sitting there listening to the regurgitation, and it's
not
grinding my
regurgitation.
gears. My gears are being grinded.
Well, it's not hard to do that. But
Hurry up,
all
Atticus.
I
King
just
gotta
want
get
to say,
You
is,
might
like,
get thrown in the trunk.
people,
Like with
people
Dilla.
want games. People want games. They do. I think the biggest key thing that they have right now, they'll still get clowned on. People just want to know they have games coming. It doesn't even matter if it's coming out next year now. They just want to know there's stuff in the pipe work. Sure, they'll still get clowned that there's not games coming out next year or this year, but they will. Some people will be like, okay, they got games coming. Look what Sony does. And I'm not trying to say copy everything Sony does, but it's working to a point. Like,
absolutely.
we know Death Stranding's coming. We know Ghost of Tsushima's coming. I hope I didn't butcher that name, but at the end of the day, we just want to know something's coming. We don't want to hear rumors. We want to hear from them.
Especially at E3. Especially at E3.
Jez,
Let King
Jez,
get off.
That was a shout out, Jez. That was a shout out to you because I'm seeing you here, and I definitely understand your frustration. So that was grinding my gears, and that was a shout out to you, sir. Just copyright infringement. The payment is in the PayPal. I just shipped that out to you.
Good, King, because we on this topic too long. We got to move on. We got a couple things to get into.
Yeah, definitely do. Also, we have 120 viewing. Let's get them likes up. Let's push this to the moon. You got Rand in here. You got Tim in here. The Lords is in the building. Let's push that up to the moon. Come on, y'all. Right? Let's YouTube. Let's make YouTube take notice of us. Let's hit them likes. Listen to him. All right. Now, what I've noticed and what I hear, and I hear the frustration. You know why? Because I hear the genesis of your frustration. The genesis of your frustration is this dude served up a softball and he couldn't hit it. And I get it. He walked into the show. He was able to do this, that, and the third. But no, they was telling him, don't do that DRM. Don't do that DRM. And what did he do? Do the DRM. Oh, my God. And then what Sony did? Right after him, slow that show up, fix that show. Their show was the shortest.
That's facts. People don't talk about that.
Their show was the shortest, and when you got your PlayStation at home, it took you damn near 24 hours to remove that DRM and put on it.
They had it in place.
I do want to address something real quick in the comment. Matt said that. Miller Matt said, "What did the marketing have to do?" Can we all agree here that Sony's marketing's been on point this whole generation?
Well, they've had the bullets. It's like people like saying, Shannon this and that, or Aaron. How the hell are you gonna freaking hype State of Decay really on a AAA level, or even Sea of Thieves? It's like
it's not. Those games are not AAA title games. Those games were designed for a situation of the Pay Pass, Game Pass. Pay Pass, right? Freudian slip. So it was designed for that model. All right, they have games that's coming, and I'm pretty sure, just like Timdog and I chopped it up last year, right? And we watched the show, and he asked me, honestly, how I felt about the show, and I thought it was adequate. I didn't think the show blew anybody away. I had reservations with ending on somebody else's IP, which I brought up to Phil, and I talked to Phil about that. And listen, a lot of these situations and these moves are being made under constraints. All right, it takes a superior individual to move in a hostile climate, and the hostile climate is Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, anything that can, any multimedia, social media that is pushing us down. Because trust me, it's very easier to run with the crowd. Not too many people are getting rid of their Xboxes. They have it sitting there. Maybe it's collecting dust, or if they're not, they want to play God of War. Yeah, don't forget. Without this failure from Microsoft, those God of Wars, those games probably wouldn't have come to pass because they were on their last.
Well, a lot of them were still in development.
Now,
a lot of them still were in development.
Right, they were. All right, so they're still in development. But if they falter in the beginning of this generation, those games come out in a manner that they do, they were able to sit back, because remember, Microsoft had all these games in the beginning of this generation where people were screaming out, "Where's the game for Sony?"
Right, facts. I
will
give you that.
Games are here.
Didn't the Sony president come out once and said, "I have no clue why people are buying PS4s"?
Yes,
right. Because there was no games there, but the games are here now. So everybody's going to hold on to this rhetoric that the games have always been there. No, the games have not always been there. The drought is on us now. The drought is on us,
and the narrative also changed a lot. Let's be honest.
Yes,
the narrative,
torches are out.
The narrative was power. A lot of it was power. I remember how Witcher 3 beat 1080p and 900p on Xbox.
Resolution
it was such huge. I mean, huge. And now,
and who did this for you? Who switched it around for you? Who did that for you? Who switched it? Because the talk has been
having to make that a shirt.
The talk has been, Phil this and Phil that. Phil done told you, I'm gonna fix this, and he's doing it very strategically. The power narrative is over. Now they talking PlayStation 5. Exactly. The power narrative is done. All right, so you got a pro out there. Exactly. So when they showed you that 4K screen there, if you was at E3, that 4K screen looked beautiful. It looks really. I'm not gonna lie, it was the best screen I've seen because we went to the PC show and nah. So listen, my state of Xbox and going in, I expect this, and I really truly believe by watching his moves. All right, and I know y'all gonna call me a Phil stan. I'll take that, of course, because when it's right, it's right. When it's wrong, it's wrong. He has a lot of stuff that he's introduced to you. That Game Pass, it works great for the family. You buy that for your kid is fantastic, and you're paying cheaply every month to keep your kids ecstatic and keep yourself ecstatic and get Xbox exclusives. What Jez didn't like was that Halo game at Dave and
We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. Don't touch that.
Yeah. Okay, all right, no problem. I got you for that, Jez. All right. But right now, he has changed the power narrative, so they can't do that. What you do strategically to your enemy is remove their ammo. And he's been removing the ammo little by little. Have Digital Foundry announce your system and show the superiority of your system, because Digital Foundry was a major component in your demise. Right. So you put them on your back as your ally, and it's working. All right? So these games, I believe, this year will be shown. And like Addict said, I honestly believe that show that he felt was the best and had the best pacing. I honestly believe that they will use that type of narrative to show a roadmap, not too far ahead, but some games that you can know that's going to be tangible, that they have a good eye on. Because when he pulled back Scalebound, and we all saw Scalebound and it looked janky. Don't lie.
Yeah, I ain't gonna front. I did not like the way it looked.
Listen, nobody. I think Rand can attest to this. NeoGAF had a 5-page thread on its showing on NeoGAF about when it showed it at Gamescom, whatever. Rand, how much was the cancellation thread? What was it at?
Hundreds.
So there was not a lot of hype. Me and Rand had always talked about that game. Nobody was hyped for it. People were saying it looked horrible. And I got news for you. There's talk about the platinum stuff. I know a lot of things that went on that'll never be said in the public media. And that game was not even close to being ready in 2016. It would have been another 2 years. But it's like I told Kid Smooth, I said, you're going to have repercussions when you ever cancel, whether right or wrong. And you could say, it wasn't Microsoft's fault, but it wasn't in the fact that maybe if they had overseen the situation better earlier, that they could have fixed it, but they didn't. But that whole situation with that game was, if it came out, it would not be a big game. It would not, in my opinion, it would not sell. And people would not have made the big deal. I mean, I've never seen so many people want Scalebound. They never talked about it.
No, I understand. I think the appeal just came down to the fact that it was a unique looking title, and it was something that usually Xbox, those type of titles you don't really see on Xbox. So I think So I agree with you. Who knows what it would do commercially, but it's one of those things, and I don't know if Lauren agree with this. Like, I think one of the appeals of Sony is that they have that diversity in their lineup, right? Whereas, let's be honest, Microsoft falls into that trap of the Gears, the Halo, the Forza, and when you see something that they're promoting that's unique from that space, there's a contingent that is hyped for it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying the whole base was. Who knows what it was? So I agree with you.
Yeah, there was some people that were, but
absolutely. But I'm just gonna move on because we've been on this one for a long time.
Yeah, I was completely done with that whole thing. Yeah. But my state is a whole different kind of state, and it's hopeful. Going into this E3, I'm going in hopeful and confident, in the sense that the same way that these guys woke up smelling the effervescence, I believe the numbers will back certain ways on us
Mhm.
going into this E3. I truly, honestly believe those games
Mhm.
will be there.
All right. No, fair enough. You guys stole every damn point I had. So, yeah, pretty much, yeah, it was just like my highs are, obviously the X, the lows are obviously, obviously the lack of the first party IP, the quality of the first party IP, and obviously the delay of the crackdown, which we talked about. I know a lot of people talked about too, and there is some pressure. So we're gonna get into the next topic. We're gonna get this thing moving. So I want to talk about the impact of the rise of services, Game Pass heading into E3. Obviously, we know about the arcade Halo exclusive Dave and Buster's, thing. We know about the Miami Street PC exclusive to Windows 10. So it's just a slap in the face to the family. So let's get Lord Rand in there. We get to talk to Rand again. What do you feel about this? You know what I mean? As far as like just Game Pass in general in this direction, is it hurtful? Is it helping? What do you feel personally?
I don't think it's hurting anything. I think
Okay.
it's a boon. I think it's wonderful for Microsoft. I mean, the people that will say Game Pass exists so Microsoft can put in broken games or half finished games into it.
Mhm.
I get that. But the thing is, like Sea of Thieves and State of Decay were in development before Game Pass was even an idea.
Yeah, exactly.
So like those games being the way they are isn't on Game Pass. It's on Rare and it's on Undead Labs, maybe not getting the support they needed. But from all my talk with people, Game Pass is the future of literally Xbox. They believe in it that much, and they believe that with a strong subscriber base, it allows them to invest in games they couldn't before. So that's the way I look at it.
Okay.
Like, if you have a situation where, look, we've all been disappointed, me especially, I know Tim's really disappointed, and I could probably, and you and King and Sovereign and Attic probably will, is like, this generation has been a lost one for Microsoft when it comes
Facts.
to IP. All their games have been one and done. People complain that Sony's games are one and done, but Xbox's games are truly one and done because they don't get any sequels. You have a game like Rise, which a pretty decent launch title, but a Rise 2 with could have been something like a step up, like Uncharted, Uncharted 2, or Mass Effect to Mass Effect 2 could have been great. We won't get to see it. Quantum Break 2, what other game am I thinking of here? Sunset Overdrive. Right?
Yeah.
In the pre-Game Pass era, because you split them up pre and post.
Right.
In the pre-Game Pass era, each individual game was judged on its own performance. Quantum Break had this budget. Did it make a profit? Yes. Make a sequel? No. Don't make a sequel. Right. Sunset Overdrive did the same thing. Right. And they all didn't do well. Like they all just didn't sell. But in this era of Game Pass, each individual title doesn't necessarily have to perform at a high standard to get maybe a sequel, because it's all about adding content to the service to keep people subscribed. So you can have a successful game, but then you also need other games that maybe aren't as successful. It's truly the Netflix model. Netflix has been criticized that they keep series going on too long and that they should cancel stuff. But they don't necessarily have to, because they need the content. They need people's eyes on the shows to keep on subscribing throughout the length of time. So I even posted this to Jez on the podcast yesterday. Imagine if Game Pass was around when Scalebound was about to get canceled. Does Scalebound get canceled then? Does Fable Legends get shut down?
Good point.
If Game Pass was around when Sunset Overdrive and Quantum Break were around, do we have a Quantum Break 2 in development as Sunset Overdrive?
Valid point. Yeah. I want to double down on this, because you really opened my mind to some things, Laurent. My question though is the opposite effect. Well, what do people say based on we only have a short sample size with Game Pass in existence, right? And we have Sea of Thieves, we have State of Decay, and the argument can be made with Sea of Thieves is just gorgeous, fantastic looking game with a lack of content. We have State of Decay with this deep simulation, great systems, but not necessarily the most polished. So what do you say to those who say, I'm concerned about games being in Game Pass because Microsoft kind of has to meet this monthly quality of games to be added to the service? So like, is the quality control now going to go down as a result. I understand what your point is as far as saying saving games like in the past, that maybe if Game Pass existed, those things may not have been canceled, or maybe sequels could have been birthed. But what about like from the quality control aspect? Do you have any reservations or concerns in that side?
Well, not necessarily, because we know the situation that surrounded Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2. If this is still an issue a year from now, 2 years from now, then clearly Microsoft is using Game Pass to launch unfinished games. But I don't think Game Pass is a causation for those games being unfinished and not having content. Because like I fully expect Forza Horizon 4 to be absolutely phenomenal, and that game is going to be in Game Pass. I expect Gears 5 to be great, and that's going to be in Game Pass, and Halo 6 and stuff, and other games. So I think it's just.
So you blaming it on the studio, Rand? Is that what you say?
Can I make a statement real quick?
Good, Attic.
I think that it's not that Microsoft is pushing games out because of that. I kind of think that, like, with these particular games, I don't think these games they were supported by Microsoft, but I don't think they were really like supported to that extreme. And I do think that when it comes to, except for Sea of Thieves, but I did hear that like Sea of Thieves, them supporting Sea of Thieves the way they did, that was actually new. Like that came randomly after like one of the betas. They saw like the anticipation and the engagement, so they put a little bit more marketing behind it. But I feel like games that are designed and knowing around a premium service like Game Pass, that will give more. When games are development or around Game Pass, you'll see better quality games coming a lot more frequently, because they know it's like Rand said, a lot of these games weren't even designed with Game Pass in mind. So it's some of these games, like, that these new games in development, they're designed with Game Pass in mind. They're like, this is when we need this out because we need this by Game Pass. I do feel like Sea of Thieves and State of Decay was pushed out because of Game Pass. But I don't think it's Microsoft doing a quality control. I just think it's Microsoft pushing those two games.
Stop. You sound like you want to jump in.
I think it was the luck of the draw in terms of those two games. Like, those are the first two games that were ready to go in terms of Microsoft, like, first and second party stuff. And their Sea of Thieves is something new, right? So you knew, and in this online persistent world, you knew that regardless of how many beta tests they had, something was not going to be completely. It wasn't going to be 100% ready to go. That's that. State of Decay, as much as we wanted it to be a true AAA game, it was just building upon it. The things that it's doing, it's difficult to sort of to iron out to the point where you're never going to have issues with it. The type of world they're trying to create, the systems that are on top of systems, it's difficult. So, I mean, it's not excusing the game-breaking bugs and stuff like that, but it's just those are the two games. I think Rand is correct in saying that, like, when Halo comes, these are going to be more polished experiences. I definitely think that. Now, one thing that I don't agree with and is that narrative that these other games were not going to get sequels because if not for Game Pass, because we all know damn well Microsoft has the money to do it if they wanted to do it. So they create a narrative that's telling you, like, no, we can't, it's not viable, it can't be done, as opposed to, no, we're not doing it because it's not going to make us as much money as this can make.
That's the real
right.
That's the real reason.
Out of curiosity, okay, we kind of know what happened with the Sea of Thieves and the Quantum Break. They didn't sell really well, and for the most part, I think
Sea of Thieves did very well.
I'm not talking about Sea of Thieves. I'm sorry, Sunset Overdrive. So, like, for the most part, like, they didn't sell the greatest. I do think Sunset Overdrive was better. Had a better reception than Quantum Break. But at the end of the day, Quantum Break did really bad.
Micro budget. Yo, the chat is crazy.
My question is, do you guys think that if there was no issues with Rise, do you think we would got a Rise 2? Because I kind of feel like that was more like political than money wise. I think they wanted
to get Rise 2. Get this, Tim. I want you to jump in, Tim.
Well, they tried to get Rise, and they were denied it. They came to
Crytek.
the dev Crytek, and they said we'll buy the IP, and they said no. So they did want to do that, and they did have a sound relationship.
It's not necessarily that I don't think they're willing to do sequels. It's just that the games that they're willing to do sequels of, they don't own. And,
I mean, yeah. Well, they own some stuff, but I think on the Game Pass front, I think a lot of people miss this, and I've seen that narrative crop up about this is a nefarious plan by Microsoft. Really,
quality control, Tim.
I mean, that's
throw that broken game in, get a patch later.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's what I'm hearing.
I mean, I've seen the videos. But the fact is that it all falls on the dev. And if that was true and that was Microsoft's real plan, then why would they have delayed Crackdown? Because Crackdown was ready to go. And that was when Game Pass was available. So, and we might get a delay to 2019 on Crackdown because they're adding supposedly more multiplayer and they're adding a ton of stuff. So I think that's a bit silly. I think, though, Game Pass honestly has changed the game in the way games are perceived, and when you have a game that's going to get 1 million players in a day, that in itself is a huge thing. Even if a lot of them don't buy and they are playing, it's just the engagement's going to produce more sales, and the engagement's also going to get more visibility.
At this point, they're more worried, and it's like I said. This isn't a Microsoft is trying to push games out to have games on the service. This is just Microsoft pushed out Sea of Thieves and State of Decay. Like it's like Rand said, like people aren't going to have this issue when the actual games that are designed.
Well, they had delayed both of those games, though, if you remember. I mean, I think
State of Decay got delayed.
They delayed both of those games because of the sheer. Listen, in 2017, that is the black hole of Xbox.
Facts. That's the get L. That's what we call it.
That's the meek years.
But that was two games that they were supposedly leaning on, and Crackdown, and they delayed every single one of them. So I just think that Microsoft hit a rough patch, but I do think Game Pass is a great thing. I think that it's probably a better thing for Xbox than it is for consumers, although it's great for consumers too. I just feel that when Forza Horizon 4 and Halo 6 and Gears 5 comes out, though, that's when you'll really start to see the effect of Game Pass. I mean, you could literally say, I heard some talk that they could have 5 million people playing Halo 6 day one. That's
they're gonna go to
5 million day one. That is some serious.
They're going to use that as far as engagement and stuff like that. One thing I just want to get Rand, quick question, and I'll give it back to you. We kind of slided over the whole Miami Street PC exclusive to Windows 10.
Nobody just didn't want to talk about that.
I don't. Why is everybody doing that? That's not true. Stop saying that. That's not true.
Some people, because
were you playing Miami?
That the relationship, I've seen Lord Rand's video. You know what I'm saying? People say that the relationship is one-sided, and they say that Microsoft's exclusives go there, but it's not vice versa. So what say you, Rand? In reference to that specific topic.
What say me? Microsoft Street is the beginning of Microsoft's foray back into mobile.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you guys aren't going to like it because Microsoft's priority, and this is going to be tough for me to say, isn't Xbox anymore. Microsoft's priority. Microsoft is looking to look, and it's written on the wall. They've been talking about this many times. Like they want to reach 2 billion people. 2 billion people ain't buying Xbox. And that's just the truth. So they have the cloud gaming streaming division. Where do you reach people when they're on mobile and PC and stuff? Like they're gonna go. They're gonna be making games for mobile. They're gonna be making games for PC. And I already know Papa Chat's. I mean, I don't have chat up, but I can tell they're probably, especially Jazz. He's probably.
Oh yeah, he's lit right now.
I don't even know. I don't even know what Jez is sitting there talking about. Boom. There's no boom, Jez. It's like he did not
Who did
say.
that for you? Your man Phil.
They actually trademarked something recently. I don't know if you've seen it, but there was a trademark for video games, online video games. So I do think that Rand, you're right. Now let me ask you, Rand, do you think we'll see Xbox games, not specific for the console, but an Xbox game with an Xbox achievement score on a phone?
Yes,
Let's
100%. Yes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed.
I was watching. I was watching. I was listening to IGN Unfiltered not too long ago, and Ryan McCaffrey introduced Seamus Blackley, and something interesting that Seamus said was that they asked him, "How did you feel when they launched the 360?" And he said, "Honestly, my heart sunk a little bit because the 360 was that." It showed exactly what Microsoft's real reason for getting into gaming was. It was the beginnings of that, and he always said it. He said OG Xbox was a gaming system with forward-thinking tech in it, but at the same time, it still didn't have what that 360 had, which was what the beginnings of. I want to control everything, and I want to be everywhere. Exactly. He said. It's in the company DNA to want to do that, and Xbox pushes against that. No matter the idea of Xbox as a gaming console pushes against that all the time. He said gamers need to be, and King's gonna love this. He said gamers need to be happy that somebody like Phil is in charge now because he's a gamer. And he's gonna try to work that back into it, because if it was just up to Microsoft and Microsoft philosophy, he said all of this stuff we're just talking about now, this racing game, and this is what they are.
You transitioning me right now, Saul.
But
listen, he's hitting the same points that I'm about to.
Who said but? With that random said
but? That's Rand said but.
Of course he has.
But Phil's a gamer, and this is true. And
he's a businessman too.
He shares the same, but he shares the same goals as Satya. He's also a Microsoft employee for life.
100%.
Oh, absolutely.
Slave with two masters. That's what you said.
Inside Phil.
But you got to admit though, if Don Matrick was still in charge, you would not be getting this.
Don Matrick would have been ousted as soon as Satya Nadella came
out. Of course, that's true. But I'm talking about philosophy-wise. Philosophy-wise, Xbox would still look considerably different now.
Well, okay,
I would say
there's an argument to be made that if Don didn't screw up everything about Xbox, that Xbox could be essentially winning this generation, because some of the things that happened, the stopping investing in games, is a direct response to what he did and how bad the Xbox was doing. So there,
also,
like, imagine a situation.
Go on.
Well, I was just saying, imagine a situation where they decide that Kinect isn't the future, and they release an Xbox One that's as powerful as the PS4 for $400. There's no DRM, there's no online check-in.
Good point.
It may continue the 360 domination, and at that point,
you got to consider launch games too. So
that's when
the overcommitment to TV in that conference. Remember,
that's the whole thing. That's it in a nutshell. Exactly what Ryan said. That's the whole thing. If was a fifth.
But Ken, you've been preaching that narrative. You've been saying it, like they had it set up, and then these decisions were like
it's a lob. It was a softball. It was a softball to Barry Bonds, and it didn't work right.
You guys are setting up the next one. I'm gonna let Rand finish it. We're gonna go right into the next.
Yo, hold on. I didn't hit this topic.
All right, my bad.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Rand.
Well, I just want to say is that while Phil's a gamer, right, and he wants Xbox to succeed and provide true games for everybody, the thing is he also believes in Satya's vision, because it's also Phil's vision of the idea, and Phil truly believes this, because I talked to the guy quite a bit. He wants you to play your games or whatever on whatever device you're on. If it's on PC, great. If it's on Xbox, great. If it's on mobile, whatever. They don't want to restrict you from anything. They're very unlike Sony in that regard, where Sony's like, if you want to play our games, there's literally one option. Microsoft's like, just like their core DNA, where they have Office 365 and everything's on iOS and all that stuff, they want to be everywhere. So while the games will come and they'll be, great Xbox exclusives. Also, at the same time, those exclusives are going to be on your TV. They'll be on streamed to your phone. There's a potential that shit will then be streamed to the Switch. Because Microsoft is going to go.
Here we go.
They're going to be trying to get that. They're going to be trying to get that wherever they can, and they're going to try to get any Xbox user anywhere. And that's just the fact of the matter. If they have to make mobile games to do it, if they have to make PC games to do it, they will. That's what people just. I think people need to realize. This is Microsoft. This is Xbox going forward. Xbox is important, but it's no longer the priority. And I think people need to finally realize that.
Been saying it forever. They're going everywhere.
Disney, I did not log out.
Finish this topic. Okay. We gotta move on.
All right, let me explain, because there's a misconception that y'all think that I'm tied to a box. I'm not tied to the box. All right, and I want you to understand one thing. Microsoft is different from those other two companies that are mentioned. All right, Microsoft, and like Rand said, Sony wants you to proprietary play their games right here. Don't you move from here. I want you to play it right here. No matter how bad our internet is and how much you may struggle, I want you right here. All right, Nintendo wants you right there. Microsoft has the Ultron effect. The Ultron effect is anything that has a screen, we want to be on it. Right. We want to reach you everywhere. So when you're standing in line, wherever the hell you are, they want you to be able to take out your phone and play Halo.
I mean, look if you're playing stuff they bought like Havoc, that proves that too. It's like use our system everywhere. We just want to make money.
Commitment to cloud services for the future. We've been seeing the tea leaves. It's like, let's not act like we haven't been seeing it. Continue, Ken.
Okay, Attic. Thank you, my little spotlight.
You're welcome.
So back to what I was saying. Listen, Microsoft doesn't want a screen on and you're not playing through their system. Like Rand said, they want you to have achievements pop up on your phone. How crazy is that going to be if you're playing PUBG through their servers, through cloud-based, and your achievement pops up on your phone? All right, wherever you at, even on like the Switch, I really honestly believe that thing is gonna really happen. I really believe so, because it's ideal for them. It works for them. Now that they bust this thing and that Windows game thing, that's all part of the narrative of being everywhere at once instead of just being in your living room closed off. So when you feel that they're changing it from sales to engagement, remember when the music industry went from sales to streaming?
Yeah, that's a good point. It could be a transition right before our eyes.
Who did this for you, Jed? All right? I want you to understand, when you're a pioneer,
who did that for you?
When you're a pioneer moving into a different space, there's going to be logical pushback. But Microsoft has always pushed forward and drugged the other two into the next millennium. This is what's happening right now. It may grind your gears, but it is necessary for growth. And this is not about monetizing what you have at the moment. This is a roadmap for the future. This is healthy for the future. Game Pass is healthy for the future, because if Microsoft decides to say today they cut a check for the companies that they want to take the Sony promoted games, let's say Destiny 2. What if you go to Game Pass and Destiny 2 is in Game Pass? What happens then?
Because of the marketing.
I know, probably not. But what happens then? You understand?
I understand where you go with it.
When Game Pass becomes that end-all, be-all, and games are being launched there, when that first real third-party game is launched inside Game Pass, that AAA third-party game, whatever it may be, I don't know. But when it's launched in Game Pass, that's the moment change actually happened.
I feel what you're saying with the forward thing. So being that we have exhausted this topic, we're going to move right into the next one, and it's the subject of Xbox only begotten son. It's our Lord and Savior, Phil Spencer, and I'm going to get Lord Timdog to set this one off. So pretty much, a lot of narrative we're hearing coming back is that
is this like a 40-minute topic with King, man?
Actually, it's not.
It's not. We gonna move quick. Is this Phil's last stand? Because we're hearing a lot of narrative, that again, the make or break mentality. We obviously know about the promotion at the table ahead of Terry Morrison. We also know that, this is a 2-hour show. There's a lot supposedly to show. Last part of the question for you, Tim, is that, when are we as Xbox fans allowed to question his leadership as the head? When are we allowed? So, Lord Tim, the floor is yours.
Okay.
Xbox
very good questions, hard-hitting questions.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the first, what was the first? Is he on the hot seat?
Is this his last stand? Because a lot of people feel this is the make or break.
Okay, absolutely not. And the reason why is because while the hardcore is being ridiculed and having a hard go of it, guess what? Microsoft loves Phil Spencer. Okay. Satya loves his, I think Rand alluded to it. They have the same idea. And fact is that Microsoft is making a lot of money, even though it's been shortchanging some of its hardcore. So the hardcore, for the hardcore, they might leave. Some more people left, if you can even say most left. I mean, you when you got guys like Red Dragon and Jez every day smashing Xbox and hating on Xbox, that you kind of did lose that
dark times.
Those hard times. You lost those hardcore fans. So no, he is not on the hot seat. He's actually, if anything, emboldened more now than he is than ever.
People don't promote a man that many times if he wasn't doing something right.
Right.
What about part 2 of the question, which is when are we allowed to question his leadership?
Right now. Because here's the thing, because he's been in charge.
Tell me your chest.
When it's my turn, I'll give you a gold spotlight.
Okay, now, I do think that a lot of it might have been him. Listen, there's been things Phil said. He's talked about single player. He was dead wrong on single player. All right. He said, well, that's where the industry's going. Okay. The fact is that I think Phil forgot that he is part of the industry. He sets the industry. So he was wrong in that aspect. He was way off on single player. Okay. So I think he could take a legitimate hit there. He was right about the Xbox One X. Okay. We talked about why there was a dearth, there was a black hole of gaming. Now, when Xbox One X, from what I heard, Meyerson was fully against it because he said you have the Xbox One S, and he was under the understanding that, that Xbox is powered enough. It doesn't need more power. It's enough there. Whereas obviously, at that time he was way off, but the narrative changed, but he didn't want the extra hardware. So part of getting that hardware greenlit and ready to go, which happened supposedly at the start, at the end of 2015 when it was when like Star Battlefront was coming out. The next January, if you remember, I think the cancellation started with Fable Legends and stuff like that, because I think Meyerson said, hey, you got to cut costs now. So gaming creation was put on the back burner, and I think that they try to push this narrative that you don't need exclusives.
Can I interrupt you for 10 seconds? Have I not said multiple times that people call me like crazy that the X was the reason that some of these games were getting canceled and we weren't seeing development in games? Have I not said that multiple times, LordCognito? And people keep saying, no, that just doesn't make sense. It's like, look, man, like I can connect the dots. I went to elementary school. Okay, I just wanted to say that. Continue.
But I do think that was pushed hard against him, and I do think that they, and this is coming from some things that maybe I know, or that the things that were said to me that I didn't like and I kept to myself. But I do think that they kind of gave up on single player development, and they kind of gave up on, a lot of things like that. I think that they even kind of floated like Gears and Halo being multiplayer only. Okay, kind of like what COD's doing. And that type of talk was going around. So when you say, can you judge Phil now? The answer is yes, because it's been 4 years, and he
Mm-hmm.
did make promises. Like he did talk about the stable of first IPs that he's sitting on. He said, "Look at all these IPs that we have." And I remember him saying in 2014 that they're dedicated to gaming and pushing gaming. Where that, it kind of wasn't true for 2 years. And I think that those 2 years kind of hurt him in the eyes of the hardcore. And a lot of the narrative against him is because of that. Now, do I think that he should be fired? Absolutely not. I do think that
some people feel that way.
I know.
Some people feel they're saying that he's not doing a good job, that they don't like the direction that this thing is going in. This is not the Microsoft that they grew up with. These are the things I'm hearing.
Yeah, I've seen that. I believe me. I read everything. I read all the comments, the negative comments, and a lot of negative comments I read are from guys that were big Xbox guys at the start of this gen, and you see them constantly upset. You know what I mean? So yeah, I do think that he could be judged right now. It's been 4 years, if you're being honest, but I do think that you got to give him a little more time as far as to see, what the C3. I think the C3 is critical for him and his job evaluation. As far for me, I would give him. I'd give him around a C at this point because I feel like the game creation part was a big miss. And some of the things that he pushed against, like exclusive content, I think that sometimes they play this merry gamer atmosphere thing that doesn't. This is a competitive world.
So you feel this as far as aggression?
They don't have that killer. They don't have the eye of the tiger, and I think that hurts them, and it continues to hurt them. And I don't think that they address it. I think that they'll say, "Wow, we knocked it out of the ballpark, 17 exclusives." And like you look at them, like last year, kind of was like a shit show. And I admit, I probably. But you talk to like those guys. I actually had an argument with some of the guys. I said that's not what we want.
Me too. I had the same. When we walked out the show, I had the same. I won't name no names. You know what I'm saying? But I some really close friends of mine, YouTubers and stuff, and I had the same reaction. I didn't feel it was a terrible show. It just wasn't for me. Like I didn't feel that was like a phenomenal show, and I didn't have that feeling that I was coming into it. So it's funny that you said the same thing. You know what I mean? And you seem to have those same type of discussions.
Yeah, well, I had it with King, David. We that was the first thing, and I have to say, David, you give me faith.
Yeah.
You kind of.
I'm gonna give you a lot of faith in a second. I'm gonna give you a lot of faith. Let me tell you right now.
We're gonna give it to King.
My man ain't going down like that. But I'm gonna give you a lot of faith in a second, Tim.
No, but I'm not saying that he should be fired, but I do think.
Yeah, I know that.
He's in a spot where he has to produce. You can't be in a position where you keep getting excuses made, and I have to say I probably have made excuses for him. I think that at that point, I think that there's been a time, but I just feel like now's the time. It's like I like Phil as a friend and all, and he's a cool dude, but at the end of the day,
it's show and prove. It's show and prove.
You sound like Jez right now because he says Phil is so nice.
No, but at the end of the day, though, it is about what you could do for the fans, and that's where I care about the most. I care about the hardcore. I care about that, and if you turn a blind eye to them, I'm not going to make excuses for that. I'm not going to defend them on Twitter like I have. I mean, I'm just going to call it the way it is. At this point, it's shit or get off the ball. We got to get some kind of we got to get some tangible shit. We got to get some stuff where we can say, hey, I'm happy to be an Xbox fan. Right now, there's nothing where people could say they can't prop up shit, dude. And Sony fans can prop up everything.
So, saying that our chest is not out. Let me get a little rant on this because I'm very curious about him. As far as the whole, is this his last stand? Is the make or break mentality, as well as the part two to the question: when are we allowed to question Phil's leadership? Lord Rand?
Well, you're allowed to question his leadership whenever. Right now. Years. I mean, it's like Tim. This isn't year one. This is year 4.
Fourth year in the league.
Yep.
Look, I'm not really I'm biased towards Phil.
Let's go, baby. Talk that talk.
I'll readily admit that.
Let's
Phil
go.
But the thing is, Phil's done a lot for me personally.
He's a good dude. I love Phil.
I have mad respect for Phil. I have mad respect for Mikey Barr. They've done things for me that they didn't have to do because they're friends. So it's I don't maybe not be seeing the picture with the like clarity because my well, you know what I mean. But
I know.
You see it with clarity, dude. You even got in trouble for being so.
I know. You know what it is. You're in a tough spot right now, and this is a spot I don't want you in. This is a very tough spot.
He's got to answer the question.
Well,
exactly, and don't hold his feet to the fire too hard on this part because, like he said,
this is the round table.
Listen, like he said, that is a friend. That is a friend, and those are friends out there, and you know, you can be as clear as you could possibly be without being as clear as you want to be.
Oh my God!
I've said this to Phil personally, so I'm just going to repeat it. I told him that I felt I love the hardware. I thought they did a great job taking what was a piece of garbage and turning it into a diamond, right? I felt that I told him I loved the services of the system. I love like the focus on the digital gifting, the digital self-service refunds, all that stuff on that side. The services, Game Pass, phenomenal. But I said when it comes to game creation, your studios are horrible.
That's
I told him I was like, that's the one area I need you to improve. And I said it's a shame considering that you're the head of first party for so long. That I'm not like, it's not that I don't like the direction that their games are going in, like the whole like games as a service stuff. It's just that, you know, he said like, oh, we need single player and I want to do single player and all this stuff, but I don't see that. I don't see the single player. Like I see
action, right? You gotta judge a man by his actions.
And it's like 4 years. It's like, yo, you know, like your stamp should be on there. There should be games that you greenlit that should be coming out, and that's my biggest issue with Xbox at this point in time. I feel everything else besides the games is about as good as you can get, and it's the games that are dragging the systems down. In my perspective and perspective of other people, they just are okay. They're not great. They're not amazing. They're not phenomenal. They're not masterpieces. They're just okay. And that's not acceptable from a first party, from a console manufacturer. Those games need to be A+, A's, B+ at the worst. What we're getting now is just C's, C+. You know, and like I want I want Halo to be back how it used to be, where it was the biggest game in the world. I want just a return.
Cal said, "Take that back. Forza Horizon 3 is a masterpiece."
Okay, Forza Horizon's a masterpiece, but at the same day, they don't own Playground Games. My biggest problem with Microsoft this gen, and extends to last gen, was the over-reliance on second party to make everything for them. If you take Microsoft first party and you actually break it down, what have they actually made this gen? I'll tell you. Forza Motorsport 5, Forza Motorsport 6, Forza Motorsport 7, Minecraft, you can't even include it because it was a game from last gen. Halo 5, you can't even really include Master Chief Collection because 343 really didn't do anything on it.
Right.
Gears 4, can't really even include Gears Ultimate because somebody else made that game. When you actually list their first-party studios and list the games they've done, it's just not good. It's Forza, Halo, and Microsoft. Shout out to Kid Smooth. Halo, Gears, and Forza.
Yeah, Big Mac, large fries, and a shake all the time.
And the other game, the other IPs they built, they're all second party. Rise, Sunset Overdrive, Ori, all this stuff. And it seems like they're continuing on with that. You give Scalebound to Platinum, and whatever happens to it, and you got to cancel the game. The problem there is, like, if you had a first party studio making that game, that's a different story. It's why Sony doesn't necessarily have these problems, because they have like 10 studios all making different stuff and they all own them. That's my biggest problem with Xbox, and extends to last generation. When instead of creating a new IP and bringing that new IP to next gen, they decided to fart around with Kinect, cancel the core games, and give us trash like Star Wars Kinect, garbage like that. And then they wonder why they're in this predicament now. They wonder why they need Game Pass. Because before, the model was Halo comes out, and Halo is so successful, and I know, Tim, you know this because we were all told this, Halo's so successful that it basically funded 5 other games.
Wow.
And a couple of those games might be successful, and a couple of them weren't. And that was okay. But it doesn't work in this generation anymore because Microsoft doesn't have the users or the user base to support that idea. Their games don't sell that much anymore. Whereas on the flip side, Sony's can. Sony doesn't have Game Pass because it doesn't need Game Pass, because millions of people buy their first-party games and they're successful that way. Microsoft has the opposite issue. Nobody buys their first-party games. And they can't get Gears and Halo out because 343 is in a bad state. I've heard Halo 6 is still 2 years away at this point. You're looking at 2020. Yeah. So Microsoft needed a different revenue stream to go after, and Game Pass provides that. So that for you.
I'm just glad you gave Phil a C like me.
Because at the end of the day,
whatever number he gonna give,
at the end of the day, the most important thing is the games. And for someone that was in charge of first party, the games have been lacking. I'm sorry.
No, this is real talk. Look, man. First of all, shout out to Rand for brutal honesty. You know, you know what I'm saying? One of the reasons why you're definitely one of my top 5 content creators. I mean, you always bring it. And these are valid points. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying, again, this is not, I don't want to make this like this is a Kill Phil segment. You know what I'm saying? We all
I love Phil. I love Phil.
We all love Phil on this panel. Like, every single one of us.
I laugh at people that say they want Don Matrick back. It's a joke.
We don't want to go.
That's out of their mind.
Right. The reason why I posed the question was just at some point, it's like the way I look at it is I think Tim kind of nailed it. It's like sometimes you can have someone who's just a great person, and I'm not saying he's not fit for the job. I'm not going there. All I'm saying is just that, you know, at some point we have to judge a person on the merits of their actions, right? Someone can talk you to death about what they're going to do and what's going to happen, but you have to look at the resume. So that's where the question came, okay, when do we get a chance to say it? And I see what Tim is saying, I see what Rand is. So I'm going to give it to Lord King, who has been flying the flag out here in these streets, who's going to galvanize the
place. All right. LordCognito knows me for forever.
Facts, bro.
Lord Sovereign knows me for forever. If I smell BS, don't you know I smell BS, Cognito? You know it, right?
Snake on. Me and you, when we went to what was his name from EA?
Mark Cerny. No,
not him. The 3DO.
Yeah,
Mark Cerny.
He don't like Mark Cerny.
Oh, sorry, you said Snake
Trip
Oil.
Hawkins. Trip Hawkins.
Yeah, Trip Hawkins.
I remember when we met Trip Hawkins. Like we're
I
very
love Trip
good.
Hawkins.
Oh no, we ain't like Trip Hawkins.
Yo, listen. 3DO rented out a hall for us, right? And fed us. They propped us up. It was, I think, that close to FanFest. That was our closest experience to sitting down with devs, meeting CEOs, eating, being smooth. We was being wined and dined. It was fantastic. And I saw through all of that crap. All right. And it was nice crap, but it was crap still, nonetheless. All right. During the beginning of this whole era, when the Dawn was out and everything was, I sat there and I actually watched it all crumble, and I was probably brought to tears alone by myself. All right,
that was a brutal E3 conference. Yeah.
When Sony,
I remember it too, man. Like,
it was horrible. It was horrible if you're an Xbox fan. When Sony could put out a video and saying, "This is how we let you borrow a game."
Yeah.
I said, because you know what? Those tactics are my tactics. That's something that I would do. All right? And once they got public opinion, did you see the turn? Yeah. How aggressive it got? Now, okay, when we all see Phil, we don't see Phil if you're playing Gauntlet, Phil will be the elf. All right? Phil will not be the wizard. Phil would be the elf. He's strategic. and he's using limited ammo to achieve his goal. He will not be the axe. He would not be the berserker. He would not be that brutish guy that we all want. I know y'all want a knockout. Y'all want something to come out the park, and y'all want to see it.
Want our chest out. We've been beaten down, King. You want 4 years. We've been beaten.
This, and I understand this. You asked me, when do you start evaluating Phil? I started evaluating Phil day one. Day one, he walked in that door. Because remember, at that same time, I had to watch every video on how the Xbox was underpowered. I had to watch every video on how this was wrong and how this guys were doing this right. Had to watch every video on everything, how you were overpriced and this was underpriced but more power. You know, the narrative was so stacked up against an individual. I aligned Phil with flying in PUBG and finding a shotgun, and there's people inside Pachinki. And he's actually working Pachinki with a shotgun. So now he got a scar.
Basically, you're saying because of
limited ammo,
limited resources,
and he had the worst weapon.
The narrative going against him from the beginning, having to turn this whole thing around based on the debacle that was 2013.
Everything. It was horrible. You know, I don't know many people that would have got that control of that situation and done what he's done in that period of time. Now y'all may say, "Oh, you're blinded with this." No, he has a scar now. Now he's on deck. Okay, he has the scar with an 8x scope and a full clip. That gun is ready. He has 500 shots and he's ready to go. Now he has to come with these games. Like Lord Rand said, he was the head of the gaming division.
That's his time.
Yeah, he made a faux pas when he said that single player games are dead. You know what's funny? Those same words was crammed down his throat when God of War came out, and it did what it did. Those same words was crammed down his throat when Zelda came out, and it did what it did.
Facts.
So, a lot of times y'all say, why isn't he talking? Why isn't he saying this? Because he made that faux pas. And a strategic individual won't make the same mistake twice. All right? So, he took away the narrative, and he's been doing all this other stuff to compensate for the lack of ammo going into this place. Like Lord Timdog said, and Lord Rand said, Halo funded other projects. They don't have that luxury anymore. So he had to find money in another place. And he find money in streaming and games from Game Pass. Okay. You find money inside putting games in the Windows Store. Okay, we're getting this. He changed the narrative from sales to streaming, views, and getting the mind share back. All right, engagement now is the key word, and everybody is saying like it's a nasty word, engagement. Well, this is what he has to use. All right, he's using engagement, baby, because he does not have sales. Okay, so engagement is what he's going to hold on to, and you always hold on to what you're strongest at. He's on deck. I wouldn't give him an A+ like y'all probably thought I would give him. No, hell no. Okay, hells to the no. But I have faith in that he can achieve my highest thoughts of what he can be there. But I give him a B.
Okay,
he gets a B. He gets the B from me.
All right, cool. We got the first
He doesn't
part
get a
out.
B- and he doesn't get a B+. He gets a B, a straight B, for giving me that wonderful system that I have, that X, that actually produces the best multiplats on their system. Okay. And their first parties look really good. But as far as the games go, where are they, Phil?
That
now your E3 is going to be solely based on these games, Phil. Like Jez says, I am Jez too. He's in me too. Where are the damn games?
Let's go. Let's get to
it. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they?
Fact, and the point I want to finish with you, King, is that when do we say, okay, you know, we're not satisfied? When do you get to that point? Because you're his biggest
this year.
Okay, so this year is kind of make a break for you.
No, listen, let me tell you something.
These are all red, brother.
You're gonna be brother.
This fan fest I'm personally want to really seek them out. This Fan Fest, if I get a chance to speak to them. And I'm hopeful. See, what everybody doesn't see, when I saw the last year games, I saw those games from the PC show games. It was some games that I were very interested in, that was shown on the Microsoft stage, but went in depth in the PC gaming show. And what I want is those games that I saw, because there's a lot of those games. I'm not looking for Halo to be shown today. I'm not looking for the Gears to be shown today. I'm looking for those IPs, those games. You know, something that's going to get me, get those juices flowing to play these games. I don't need a Halo to say the validation for the system, because I know it's coming, and when it's cooked, it's cooked. But I want games to keep me from point A to point B. So that's where my thing is.
Okay, fair enough. The Lord's Attic, man. Where you at, man? What Phil, the rating, and when do you reach that point?
I think I want to say this year.
Okay.
But I feel like realistically, we're not going to see shit till next year.
I got you. Okay. No, that's fair. That's
So
honestly fair.
you're saying wait to E3.
No,
I'm loving Rand right now.
At the end of the day, regardless if you make fun of that statement, like, what else am I going to do? Like, I got a PS4, I got a Switch. Like,
I mean, you're in my position. Yeah, I
like
feel...
what it's not like I could go and be like, yo, Phil, I got to talk to you over here for a minute.
I've tried. I've spoken to people. I was like, gosh, show it. It doesn't matter. Like, if you need to tease Fable for 30 seconds, you need to tease it.
That's
exactly.
Look, at the end of the day, I think it would be more beneficial for them as a conference to show Cyberpunk last.
Well, they are showing Cyberpunk.
Well, you get what I'm saying. Obviously, Ran. I'm saying, like, if Fable was good right now, and they could show, I do think, even though if Fable would come out this year, it'd still be more beneficial for them to show Cyberpunk, because it's the most hyped game that's out right now. But that's not, then they open with Fable. Like,
yeah, you know what they could do? You know what Microsoft could do? Take a page from Nintendo's book, throw up a JPEG of Fable 4.
A Fable 4, that's all.
That's all they gotta
I'm
do.
with you so much.
I would be okay.
That's
with
all
like
they need.
I would be okay with like a 30-second cutscene or something, like something related.
See, I've been thinking about what E3 is going to be, and I think it's going to be just like last year's. I think it's going to be over reliance on third party, which is fine. Third party games are cool. I love them. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I'm really looking forward to. They're going to have the indie stuff. Probably even maybe some new Cuphead game, maybe a Cuphead
I would be okay with
Definitive Edition, Cuphead 2 or whatever.
Oh, Cuphead kart racing.
Something like that. And I just don't expect a lot of first party stuff from them. I expect Ori, I expect Forza Horizon 4, I expect something from Gears, maybe something from Halo. I'm just not sure they have like a lot of stuff to show yet. Everything that I'm excited about is 2 to 3 years away at this point. And just like Sony's like, we're focusing on right now. We're focusing on these games that are coming out in the next couple of years, because quite honestly, the newer games are all for the next generation of systems, PlayStation 5s and the Xbox 2.
It's like I've said multiple times too. Like, we said it, I think even me and you once said it, Rand. Like, Microsoft had a certain amount of time before Sony started dropping nothing but bombs.
And they're dropping nothing but bombs now.
That time is up. Like, now
That
those games are coming.
And I'm curious to see, and I would like to see what you guys have to say. Like, I know you guys, everybody's like, oh, is this make it or break it? But how are people going to feel? How are people going to feel when?
Okay, here's what's happening.
I was going to say when
Here's
or
what's
if.
happening.
Let Rand finish.
How are people going to feel when or if Crackdown 3 no shows E3?
I already know what's happening.
I mean, to be honest with you, Rand, I'm actually, I don't know if I'm the minority of it, but I'm fine.
I'm expecting it already.
I'm fine with that, because at the end of the day, I don't want that lack of quality to continue. I'd rather them take as much time as they need to make sure that game succeeds. Because, I was there last year. Tim, we were there. King, we were there. Like, I saw shout out to my man Doc Cupcake. I love that you were in it. know what I'm saying? They did your face render fantastic. But what I saw, I was disgusted. I did not like what I saw. So please put that back in the oven, cook it up, take your time, prepare it right. If you want to throw a battle royal mode, throw a battle royal mode on it. Do what you need to do, but don't show what you showed
That'd
me.
be nice.
You know what I'm saying? I was not pleased with it, Rand. I'll
Right?
be completely honest.
But I'm saying, how is the fan like? Look, I mean, Crackdown. Maybe Crackdown's ready. Maybe it'll come out in July. But I have this sinking suspicion that it's not, and I have this. I feel like they're just going to do their E3 conference and not even mention it, and it'll just be, and they'll just say in interviews afterwards that it's pushed and that they're giving it time. And while a lot of people here who played it, like King, like didn't really. I remember King saying you didn't really like it, right? Like it was garbage or whatever.
Yeah,
I actually enjoyed it, but it's not what you expect from the kind of title it's supposed to be.
Right. I'm just
The
wondering
title
what
it's supposed to be. It was just more of the first one, like all these years in development, and it was just an up-resed original Crackdown. That's what it felt like. It was
Isn't that what State of
floaty.
Decay 2 is, though? Basically, just a better version of the first game.
In some respects, I hear your point.
In some
Yeah, I
respects,
understand. In some respects, but
It's
there is
bigger. The scope is bigger, but yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
We expected more from that. Sorry, we didn't expect.
Listen, I was a
do you
big
guys
fan of the
feel?
first, so I'm biased. I'm the wrong person to ask.
How do you guys? How do you think? Okay, we know how we feel, but how do you think the community will feel if that's the case?
Pissed.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I mean, let's be real here. A lot of people.
Let Tim tell that part. Let Tim tell that part.
The immediate reaction is going to be outrage. You know that. The immediate reaction is going to be outrage.
They got to outline Crackdown.
Tim, what do you think? Are you still on for Crackdown this year, or do you think it's next year?
I think they're going to add a battle royal mode, and I think that it might be next year.
I think a battle royale mode would do good in Crackdown. Actually,
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely. I think it'd be great.
So
that's the only kind of battle royale modes I want to see right now. Something unique. Like I'm
But they
tired of seeing
cannot-
the same different ones.
They cannot do this game anymore where they don't talk about the shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that's
And
how
you know
the
what?
issues of transparency.
You got to answer those questions. You got to show us something about the cloud.
Here-
You cannot go on with this anymore.
Here's the question.
And this is somebody who's a huge proponent of the cloud. At this point, you making people who said that it was never a reality, right?
Now here's the question: do they not bring it up at all, or do they show gameplay for the multiplayer and say it's delayed?
That's tough. I mean, it's tough because if you go out there and you show gameplay and you're like, it's not coming this year.
Yeah, release date.
Again,
I
the
feel
same
like
the same
worse
outrage
if
is
they-
going to be there.
But I
Yeah.
feel like it's
No, I
going to be 10 times worse if they don't show anything at all.
You damned if you do, and
Dude,
you
you
damned
damned
if
if
you
you
I feel
don't.
like here's
when
the
it-
scenarios. If they don't show anything at all, I feel like people are going to automatically assume it's canceled. Let's be real.
Yeah,
Like, if they don't
I
show
think-
anything at all.
Let's-
deafening.
With this game, until it's in people's hands, the narrative's going to be negative. Period. I don't care if it comes out this year. Until it's in people's hands, it's going to be negative. So I think they just need to ride it out. Like if you look at Last Guardian. Last Guardian came out and it was fine. It wasn't like this revolutionary thing. But 10 years out, it came out. I think the key for this game is for it to come out and to be in a better state than it was when we saw it.
Now,
And I think that's it.
here's another question I have for you guys. Do you think that if it came out and the multiplayer did exactly what they promised, then it was exactly what they
Oh
said?
God.
You think that
Yeah.
is the image of the game?
I think it helps, absolutely.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, well, that's what it was sold on. See, the thing what happened with that game is that was sold on the cloud and multiplayer aspect, and then they showed the single player tacked on bullshit. And everyone was like, "What the hell is this?"
Like the single player,
I think
they didn't do anything to expand on the mechanics of the first game. Like there's nothing different, nothing different. So it was that multiplayer that had people excited.
Well,
Because
yeah, it did. It definitely did. But you remember that whole thing. You're as good as the dev going in. You got Sumo Digital. They're not a huge AAA developer.
Right.
They're gonna just make a game that's kind of bare minimum. But I don't think the single player is gonna set anybody on fire with that game. But I do think that if they are delaying and they're in a battle royal mode with that, it needs to be done. But they definitely have to show the shit. They have to talk about it, and if they don't, they have to get bashed because it's we've been quiet. Phil answers all the questions, but then you ask him about Crackdown and nobody answers anything.
They looking at you sideways.
Phil literally answer like 40 questions, and then someone bring up Crackdown and be like, "Oh, look, I didn't see that." And just move along.
Yeah, y'all savage with Crackdown right now.
Yes, next question.
Yo, real quick though, let me get my 2 cents in on this really quick. Because my thing is, again, I just think, if Phil going anywhere? No, I think he's the perfect guy for the job. I think, like you said, Satya and he are on the same wavelength in terms of where it's going. And I think the fact that Phil is a real gamer and he respects the hardcore gamer, then in the long term we're gonna see more of the stuff that we want. In terms of like, is it time to start judging him? I think this is the perfect fair time to do it. I think,
at the beginning,
despite what we've heard, I think he needs. This is the time to show, in good faith, show us what you have. It's E3. People, the eyes of gaming, the entire gaming world is watching E3. Why not go out there? And again, like we said, they don't have that killer instinct. They don't have that eye of the tiger. They don't have that Peter Moore-ness that, Peter Moore, that's
God. He's gone.
Listen,
Let it go. He's gone.
but this is the thing. And listen, Peter Moore is a marketing guy, right? A marketing guy is just as liable to look you in the face and lie to you as anybody else. So Peter Moore he's good at that, right? But the thing about it is, my thing is, okay, Phil, take that, right? And I want him to go out there. You don't want him to go out there with a wheelbarrow full of mics and just throw one into the crowd. After every announcement, just throw one into the crowd, like one mic after another. Because my thing is, there's things in the pipeline. Have faith in your development process, and have respect for your consumers, and go out there and give them what they expect from E3. E3 is about wow. I want to be wowed. Wow me. If 3 years down the line something gets canceled.
Tim's got to roll. I want to get him out of here. Tim, I know you got to roll, man. Thank you for rocking so long, man.
Awesome really stuff, man. This is really. I hate to leave, but my wife is actually crazy because we gotta go out with the daughter and stuff. But I have to say, man, this was fun, man. This was
absolutely
real fun.
Man.
I don't even want to
pleasure.
leave. And I heard somebody's coming.
I see you Saturday.
All right, Saturday.
Hopefully, I'll pick you up.
I want to talk to Jeremy. We'll definitely. I'll call you.
Jeremy. Oh.
Shout out to Lord Downer.
So just to reiterate, what are the scores? All right, so David's a B, Rand a C, Timdog a C.
I'll give him a C plus.
No, you gave him a C. There's no pluses. No.
I'll give him the plus.
All right.
The plus for the fact that everything else.
He wants to know what your rating was.
I want the ratings.
I have to give it a C too, because he's doing everything right, but he's not doing the thing people.
But he's listening to me. And LordCognito.
Yeah, this is tough. Great guy. I love Phil, but he's a C. He's a C right now.
Yeah, I agree. It makes me feel.
If he announces a favor, it don't even matter if it's next year, the year after. The moment that Fable drops,
Alex said, like if he has a strong E3, you know what I'm saying. And I know Rand is not giving me a lot of confidence, but if he has a strong E3, man, this can change perception. Man, it can really do something for him, because to me, this is his E3. This one, you know what I mean? Like he's got the box, and now just show those games, man. Just show them and break. I don't care. Just break protocol. Just show something that may be a year away. You can throw a splash screen. You can throw a JPEG. You can just show a cinematic. Something. What you call it? A Master Chief in a poncho. Show something that gives me hope that okay, y'all working on this. You know what I mean? Because as much as we clown Sony, that is something they do well. They know how to galvanize their base with those kind of cinematic presentations, and there's a hope for the future. That's all I need.
Yes, look at 2016. Look at how they nailed it, and then even so, look at how it worked out. Nobody's complaining that they're going to do a deep dive on games they already announced. So you got the template there. Just do the same thing. Yep. But thanks, guys, for having me. I will see all of you Saturday for the guys going, and what a show.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Saturday, brother.
All right, Timmy. So we'll move on to the last couple of joints, and this is the drop the mic, man. So, Lord Rand, being that you know everything that's happening at E3,
No.
every announcement,
I just want to point out, hey Rand, how about that prediction last year
Which prediction?
for the Microsoft one?
Well, you'd have to refresh my memory on that.
Well, why don't you go refresh your old memory?
Oh
Well,
my
I don't
God.
remember. It's been a which prediction are you talking? Like which one?
No, your prediction for E3 for Microsoft last year. That video you made.
And was I? But I don't remember it. Was I right or was I wrong?
I think if you were right, you would remember it.
Oh my God! Leave the man alone. Anyway,
Yeah, let's go.
like we were saying.
Wait a minute, I was right. I said Anthem would close the show. What are you talking about?
So you were talking about one perspective. We don't have time to go.
We don't have time for that.
Yeah, we don't.
You want me to literally go listen to my video and see how much I was right on?
Let's get into it, man. The drop the mic segment. Lord Rand, what would be that drop the mic kill it moment for you personally that Microsoft could do to win E3?
Well, okay, I'll keep this game related because Phil could come out there and be like, by the way, Xbox Live Gold doesn't exist, multiplayer's free, drop the mic. So that probably won't happen. But for me personally, gets up on stage and be like, I've heard your cries, heard your tears, and we're partnering up with
food too.
We're partnering up with a respected developer for a sequel that everybody's asked for.
Okay.
And on screen, dims.
Let's go.
And it's like a little shot of this dilapidated house in the middle of like a lake. And then you hear Alan Wake's voice say, "It's not a lake, it's an ocean." Boom! Alan Wake 2 is in development. There you go, baby.
Boom! Megaton. Let's go. Okay, I'm with that.
That's where I officially said they lost.
Listen, I'm with some Alan Wake, man. That's what's up. Okay, so you got Alan Wake. Oh,
Oh wow!
Dilla! Oh my God, Dilla! What up, Dilla?
Tim must have let him out the trunk.
Yo, you know what it is? Yo, Dilla and Tim is the same person, and they just quit.
Dilla, what's up, man? Must have let him out the trunk.
Yo, you know what it is? Yo, Dilla and Tim is the same person, and they just quit.
Dilla, what's up, man? Let him out the trunk.
Yo, you know what it is? Yo, Dilla. His joint is reverb.
Yeah, his joint is reverbing. Crazy.
I thought it was me. I was like,
Yeah, I was
what,
like,
what
I
tab did I leave
on
on?
They haven't taken the muzzle off yet. The muzzle's not off yet. That's
Dilla,
Yo, he got
yourself
ILP
for a
on
second.
loop.
You guys are like, whoa, dealer. I was like, oh, what? He was here? Like, what?
They haven't taken the muzzle off yet. The muzzle's not off yet.
Yeah, Dilla, you gotta get his mic situation
The
together.
reason that's happening is because he's adjusting his voice from the Timdog to the Diller voice.
You're out of control. Yeah, Dilla, mute your thing, man. I'm gonna give you a couple seconds. Hopefully, if not, then we'll get you back. But it looks like Dilla's in the building. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. But let's get that on to the Lords. Lord Addict, what do you need, man? Drop the mic.
Just give me a Fable.
Give you a Fable?
That's
Good to go?
Yeah, that's all he needs.
That's all
Maybe
he needs.
if they'd announce like a Halo 6, that'd be cool. But according to Rand, ain't nothing getting announced. I'm gonna go up there and see in this for 2 hours. But
I didn't say nothing was getting announced. I said you're gonna get Ori, you're gonna get Forza Horizon 4, you get a CGI teaser for Halo 6, you're gonna get a trailer for Gears 5 and the Gears spinoff.
from Rand though, man, I expect Order 2.
Do you expect what?
I expect the Order.
Order Part 2.
Announced.
Order.
No,
Order
the order of these games being announced on.
Oh,
I expect everything
order?
from. Come on, Rand. Let's go.
Stop trying to bust up his sources. You gotta act like you don't know stuff.
I don't
Leave
know.
him alone.
Oh, I need you, man.
I said this before on another show. For me, it would be you bring Scalebound back as a Panzer Dragoon game.
Look at that, man. Leave it to Sovereign to say some dumb shit.
Wow.
Well, you the king of dumb shit. Why would? Why are you hating on my? Why are you hating on my predictions? What's wrong with you?
He said, "What's wrong with you?"
Why? Wait, no Sega
wild
love.
shot.
What's wrong with you?
No. Lord
Hey,
King, wait, Dilla, is that you? Nah, Dylan's not back.
Not yet. Nah,
All right. Not yet. So yeah, King, man, what you got for a drop the mic moment for you? What could they do?
My Amato walks out on stage.
Woo! Okay.
And they announced that they are working with Nintendo on their online services. I don't give a
I don't hear Addict saying anything. I don't hear Addict saying jack.
After that, you want to talk about a drop the and that would literally send reverberations through the community that is unheard of at a level that
pretty
is
much
definite.
what you're saying is Nintendo's winning E3. Got you.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell you this: with Microsoft backing, that's great because for me, E3 is they're gonna do exactly what they're gonna do. Like Rand knows they're gonna do exactly what they're gonna do, right? I know they're gonna do exactly what they're gonna do. My thing is show that you're willing to reach across the board because they was reaching with Minecraft. Minecraft is over there. Don't think it's not. You know, they've been playing nice with these guys. Just make that deal. I want them to close a deal, man. Close a deal already.
Okay, close a damn deal. You're stupid.
Hey,
No, I hear you, man. Yeah, I mean, this is I think mic drop. Wow, I think it's just simple for me, man.
Dylan just trying to talk.
Oh, Dylan, I'm sorry. You there?
He's been.
Can you guys hear me at all?
Now, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Fresh out.
He had to adjust that voice analyzer.
Am I clearly audible now?
You are clearly audible.
Yeah,
just in
you're
time for
clearly
the
audible.
2-hour late intro.
I just hooked myself up with a a new mic and stuff. Never used it before, so
That's cool, man. You sound
you
fine.
know, I'm trying to figure it out. So sorry once again, power issues and a big storm last night. You know, cat got stuck on the roof. You know the whole 9 yards. So.
We still gonna get that intro. I want to introduce a Lord who, in my opinion, is one of the top 5 content creators in the game. Despite his stature in the community, this Lord is extremely approachable, and his daily content always exemplifies unique perspective and technical savvy. All done with that trademark humor. Introducing the creator and host of the RDX podcast,
King
the
David.
real deal in these Xbox streets, an exposer of frauds with misinformation, the Reaper of gaming, fresh out the trunk, making his return to the realm of the Lords. My man, Lord Dealer Gaming. What's going on, baby?
Not much, man. Just I was looking forward to the show, and then all this crap happened. So I'd like to apologize on behalf of myself and say sorry. I was a little bit late. 10 minutes late.
Don't listen to this fraud's excuse.
Diller is the only
Don't listen to
person.
Rand salty. He ran out of gummy bears and shit.
Diller is the only person I know that will make like a 15-20 minute video, and kid will be like, "So how you think the video's gonna?" He's like, "Dude, I made a cool ass skit at the beginning. I don't care. Yeah, that was weird. I did it just for that skit." It was the Gremlin one. That's what it was that you were talking. He's like,
That
I
was
made
a
that
5-minute
Gremlin
video,
one.
sir.
Whatever. Okay. You know I exaggerate everything to the 10th power.
Lord Dealer, man, you're just in time. We're at the E3 section. So as far as we just want to talk about the drop the mic moment. What could Microsoft do?
Ask him what he rates Phil. No.
All right,
Let's get his rate.
Real quick.
Yeah, what do you rate Phil?
Up until this point, and when do you what's the point where you kind of question? When do you think we're allowed to question his decision making? So the first part is what do you rate him, and when do you think it's as far as the rating?
Well, I think you're allowed to question Phil from minute one since he gets in there, right? Because why not, right? On the pro consumer side of things, how pro consumer is Phil, the policy changes. I'd say I'd give Phil a 9 out of 10. He got rid of the Xbox Live paywall to watch YouTube and Netflix. He also implemented Play Anywhere, which, like it or not, does give you an extra copy of a game at no additional charge. Play with your friends wherever you want. I didn't hear people complaining about that with the PS3 and Vita cross-play stuff. So I think it's extremely pro-consumer. And he's only tried to do more in that vein. Game Pass, you can't beat it, really. I mean, people like to talk down about it, but it's for you or it's not. Either one of those games on day one, or maybe now you want to save some money with the implementation of first party into Game Pass, but extremely pro-consumer in my mind. But on the game side, I have to give Phil a fucking I don't know, 5.
Wow.
All right, so dealer, okay, you didn't know that we're doing, the alphabet as far as when we rating them.
Yeah.
All right. We weren't giving them a numerical number, but we're doing an alphabetical number.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't want to bother your roll. You was on a roll.
So you want me to give him like a C then probably?
Right.
All right. Yeah. So you're in the C range
right now, yeah.
Everyone
But keep in mind we're like less, like almost a little over a week from E3, so that could change. But I don't feel like it will this year.
Okay. These are great answers. And now let's speed this up to where we at now, which is the whole E3 and that like drop the mic moment. What can they do for you, Lord Dale, that could just boom, like that will kill the show for you?
Well, like many of you, I do not pretend like third-party games don't exist, so I am excited for a lot of stuff. I said it forever ago on Xbox Nation, expect like a lull for like a year and a half, 2 years after the X comes out, where you're not going to be getting too many games. Like, it's just how things are going to be. They're going to rely on third-party to fill in that gap, and I'm excited for a lot of stuff they're probably going to show, like Shadow of the Tomb Raider and Cyberpunk and Anthem and Metro comes out early next year, But first party wise, I just don't see him doing too much this year, honestly. I mean,
realistic.
After talking to Rand, I'm like, Crackdown's fucking 2019.
Hey, why are you putting this on me? What the hell?
Because
we acted like Rand is ASAP Rocky. He's snitching.
You gotta understand too. Rand's got the fucking cheat sheets too. So don't even watch Rand's predictions video because motherfucker's looking at all the grades and the answers right there. So
I know, right?
I don't know, man. It's a little disappointing, but it sucks that it is what I thought it would be. Just a lull for a year and a half, 2 years, and you know what I'm saying. You got to deal with it. But at the same time, man, I'm seriously no damage control because we all like God of War, right? God of War was fire.
Yep.
We want games like that, first parties like that have a lot of polish, 5 years of development, and a big budget. But at the same time, we're all having a great time playing third parties too. So I'm still looking forward to seeing those third party games. I think they're both very important.
You know what sucks is that Crackdown does come out this year. Everybody's just dealers gonna come at me and be like, "You're a fraud."
Yep.
and then if I was right,
if that happens, you want to do a collaboration video?
No, because if everything I predicted turns out to be right, I'm an asshole. But if I turn out to be wrong, I'm a fraud. So I can't win.
You can't win. Hashtag blame Rand.
It's the hashtag blame Rand. So
blame Rand.
I'm just saying, you always have a little inside scoop on some stuff.
Wow, what if they feeding him false information?
Yeah, they're checking out and seeing who the snake is.
I know, right? They doing it. They doing it like how Marvel does the movies. They put out false information just to see.
They got a
what
false
studios
script. Rand's over there reading every one of them.
He reading the false. Yo, hashtag blame Rand going crazy right now.
Yeah, but I think it's definitely like, especially after Aaron Greenberg he danced so hard his Nikes caught on fire the other day. It's not canceled. Motherfuckers all over the place dancing and stuff, and he never said that it wasn't delayed. Like he
That's true.
He knew what he was doing. He knows the shit's delayed. Just ain't saying it.
I mean, it because they said spring. Spring ends on June 20th. So that's a delay. If it ain't out in 17 days.
Yeah, it's not, and it looks like it's not going to meet that. All right, anyone else who hasn't made their drop the mic moment? Let's get that popping.
Well, hold on. I want to dealer, like I said, mine might, even though this won't happen, and I know it won't happen. The drop the mic moment for me would be Microsoft announcing Alan Wake 2. So you're saying like there's nothing that
would be the drop the mic moment for you, Rand.
I mean, what else did they announce? What else do they even have?
They could hand out like a packet of Twinkies to everyone in the audience, and that would be a bigger moment for me, honestly. Like, Alan Wake is interesting,
Right, that's why.
But I feel like there's more they could do.
A personal thing. Alan Wake to me is great.
Yes.
I'm wondering. I want to get to know more about dealer gaming.
Yes, let's get into the dealer.
What would Microsoft announce? Because it's about the games.
Yes.
Keep the third-party stuff on the outside because third-party stuff's great, but specifically a game
Good
from
question,
Microsoft.
man. Good question. Challenge the man.
Drop the mic.
Yeah. Don't give me that third-party crap. Let's get real now.
Well, I mean, it depends. If they announced Fable and it was as intricate, which I know it's not going to be. That's the thing. That's why it's so hard. If it were as intricate and just next level like Witcher 3, but maybe retain some of that charm, that would be like, holy fuck. Fable's back, you know. If they announced, it all depends on how much time they put in these games. And we all know they haven't had enough time. So Mech Assault, same thing. Mech Assault was big for me.
Yeah, that's big for me.
So drop the mic moment.
I get you excited.
If they announce it, which would never happen too. If they announce, hey, Xbox Live's free now, which wouldn't happen. That's a big thing. That's very pro-consumer for me.
Everybody's been saying that.
Yeah, it's not happening. But that would be, we're talking about fantasy worlds here. Like,
I love it.
I don't know. That's three things that have to run by right now, anyway.
Okay. Fair enough. The man put some stuff out there in the universe. Lord, sorry, anybody else didn't get their drop the mic in? Who didn't get their drop the mic in? So, you there?
Yeah, I did.
Everybody's good? So I think it's me then, right? Yeah, I think for me, it's just like, I think dealers on it. I mean, I doubt it'll happen, but if they have some type of announcement of like a Game Pass, Xbox Live kind of combo deal, you know what I'm saying? That would be really cool, kind of embracing Game Pass in that form. Also, I think I need to see Splinter Cell. I mean, we've already had the Inside Xbox. We've seen Michael Ironside on that, platform. Yeah. It seems like it's a go. Ubisoft has been kind of, so, I mean, who knows if they'll get it exclusive, but, that would be kind of cool. Ultimately, like Lord King was saying, a dream of mine, would be some, they're working with the Discord thing and, somehow they want to get services on everything. How about getting Nintendo's up to snuff? And get, some working on
partnership. Why don't you guys drop the mic moment have to do with Nintendo? I don't understand that.
I just want that Discord thing.
What a drop the mic, what you're not
exactly. It's not. It's not. Oh, Fable. That's a drop the mic moment.
That's right. Mess with his heart.
A drop the mic is something that's gonna send shockwave. I mean, a drop. When you drop the mic and the sound that you make, you go, that's what they want you to have. That's a drop the mic. So a drop the mic is not no ordinary something like a game. That game came out nice. No, a drop the mic is changing stuff. So to me, for them to change it, it would be that Mayomata walking out on stage, and I will really be like that. You would see a change. Something will really happen.
All right, let's get to the fun part, Lord Dealer. What announcement would you hope is not made?
Not made. Let's go, Dealer. Let's hear this.
Let's hear it. I saved this question for you.
I don't want anything. You guys can hear me, right? Yeah. I don't want anything to do with Minecraft there. I don't want anything. I know, right? This is all hypothetical, you fraud. I don't want anything to do with thieves there.
Don't see it,
preach, brother. Don't see thieves on Minecraft. Yeah. Yes, preach.
What? They spend another 10 minutes on Minecraft. I'm gonna punch a hole through my OLED here. I don't want anything to do with mainly Minecraft and Sea of Thieves, man. Like, it's not hard. I understand that those are like big things, right? But I mean, statistically, I guess. But there's a place for those things, and it's like a news briefing or some kind of piece online or something, So give me some new big ass fucking games, and that's really all I want. Really, I mean, third or first. I like to know what they're doing in the future, but like I said, it's gonna be kind of like last year, but. The games are just further along this time. Really, that's how I feel about E3. It's going to be kind of like last year, but you just got Anthem that's a year further in the development, things like that. So I don't know.
Fair enough.
No
Okay.
Minecraft, no Sea of Thieves. That's what I
Keep
want.
them away from dealer stage. I feel you.
Jamie Moran, shout out to him on Twitter. He said he doesn't want constant cuts to the crowd during gameplay. I don't want that either, Jamie. I agree.
No doubt. Lord Red, what do you not want to see?
I agree with Dealer on the no Sea of Thieves, no Minecraft. Nobody wants to hear that stuff.
we don't know it's gonna be there.
Yeah. I also don't want to hear or see anything about VR, and I also don't want to hear or see anything about streaming Xbox games to mobile.
Oh, you don't want to see it.
I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to see it. I don't want them to get up on stage and be like, here's how you can play Forza Horizon 4 on your Galaxy 5 or whatever. I don't want to see any of that stuff. Save it for some other place.
Fair enough. Lord Saul, what would disgust you? What don't you want to see on that stage?
I was gonna say Fable, but that's bad.
I
love Fable. No, I don't want to see a car on stage again. Man. I don't want to see any of that.
You don't want them to come down from the ceiling again.
I don't want any awkward fake interaction gameplay demos with people I call like Sea of Thieves was it last year before. Like these guys are like, these fake interactions they're having. Don't do any of that. Just somebody play
Bob.
the game. Hey, what's going on? Hey,
Bob,
he's
how
on
you
your,
doing over here?
He's on your 6. He's on your 6.
Hey, DC over there. While we're here, I can teach you how to play this game.
None of that.
Yo, Fonzarelli said Halo 6 star unlocked. Yo, you foul, Fonz.
Wow.
Continue, son.
Right.
That's the main thing. So you don't want to see
Yeah,
no
that
cars,
was it.
no
Cars and no fake demos. Just play the game. That's it.
Shout out to Cal. You don't want to see any dances, no music artists on stage. Y'all
Yeah,
funny.
no Pele. I don't want to see
No Pele,
on stage.
no doubt. Lord Addict, this gonna be funny. What don't you want to see on Microsoft stage?
Well, first off, I don't want to see Nintendo on Microsoft stage
Oh,
because I feel like that defeats the purpose. Let Nintendo announce that shit. I don't want to see any cringeworthy announcement moments. I don't want to see any cars. I don't want to see Minecraft. I don't want to see. Technically, I don't even want to see State of Decay. I don't want to see any kind of statistics on hardware. I don't want to see
no engagement numbers.
No engagement numbers. Salute.
You don't want to see anything, man. What's going on?
Oh, just because I attacked your precious Nintendo dream. No, I don't want to see.
No, I don't
hear
care.
that
I don't
nonsense.
care about that stuff. Listen,
Addict.
Spotlight.
I
care.
just want to see. I like a good middle ground. Some companies like to go from game to game, and then some companies like to have a lot of talking and then go into the game. I want like a minimum amount of talking, get the point across, then go to the game. I don't want like this couch moment that I think PS4 is about to do and just talk about a game for 30 minutes. I want just a good, a good pacing from game to game. But 2 hours long, there's not going to be good pacing. I can almost guarantee you.
2 hours. Yeah, you know what's funny? You said I'm just jumping real quick, King, on you before you go, King. I agree with Addict in this sense. Like we all know that, at least I feel that the Daryl Gallagher announcement is going to be made, but I don't want to see him on stage just sitting there talking if he ain't got nothing to present. You know what I mean? Like that's my thing. We know that they're investing in first party. I'm cool with that. But like Lord, I need the pacing of the show to be games. And my other thing is, no VR, please. Yeah, please with the VR. You know what I'm saying? Like get that out of there.
And no mixer streamers either.
Yeah, like keep that mixer stuff out there. Keep that for the for Larry's show. You know, when Larry does his daily.
And I don't want it I don't mind one trailer of indie games spotlights, but I don't want to see like 3.
But you don't want what Addict? You don't want the sizzle trailer though? You don't want the
no, I don't mind one. But like last year, it felt like they had like 3 of them, man. Like it felt like that was because a good amount.
I got one, y'all. I don't want no fake verbiage inside console exclusive.
Oh, you know that's
Oh God, you know that's
no
coming.
fake verbiage.
Sorry,
if
that's
it's
there. That's
or
there, bro. It's in place.
First
It's in
look,
place right now.
first look at
I mean, we
none of
have, hey, we have to confirm. Rand, is there going to be any out there?
Wow.
I don't know
Wow.
anything. I don't know anything. Okay? I've said this before. Like, I'm not an insider. I don't have these things.
they just
So,
hit Red with the snitch title all day today.
Tells you about
Yeah,
me.
they just ripping my man up.
I just
What
be
the
messing
hell?
with you, Rand, man. You're my favorite people, man. I'm
But
just be
can y'all
messing
agree
with
with the verbiage? It'd be a little bit too much, dealer. Like with
No.
all the different. Come on.
You gotta do that when you don't have any
you. Oh, I
guns.
said that literally.
You gotta throw smoke screens.
You know, it's going to be Xbox, Windows 10, and day one Xbox Game Pass exclusive.
Worldwide reveal.
It's going to be Xbox,
Worldwide
Windows 10,
premiere.
and day one Game Pass and Randall Thor exclusive.
Hey, do we even know if the show's 2 hours long? Because I'm pretty sure it's not.
I heard it was
They said 2, right?
No, they
Yeah,
just
they said
blocked.
2.
They just blocked off the schedule for 2 hours. Doesn't mean the conference is 2 hours. I'm pretty sure it's not.
Okay,
Oh,
fair enough. Lord King.
Your video title did not say that.
Hey, I referenced a article, sir, where the article
hold
was
on,
saying
hold on,
that it was
hold
2
on, Taylor,
hours.
Are you
sir.
saying,
Rand, when we
are you
do
saying
that-
he had some clickbait title? Are that what you
Rand, when we do that, I'm making fun of the people in the comment section who undoubtedly called it clickbait because you couldn't fit 800 characters in a fucking.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, you only got 100 characters to work with in the YouTube title, people. If you didn't
Why
know
do you
this,
tell me exactly what this video was about?
You know the funniest thing when people say about clickbaiting titles, like, yo, that's what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm trying to get you to click on my video. Like, you have to get out what you want. That's literally the whole point of thumbnails, names. That's the whole point of everything. Like,
Absolutely.
to get them to watch the content that you are putting in the video. Like,
No, fair enough. Lord King, man, let's wrap this thing. What do you not want to see?
I don't want to see the reintroduction of Connect 3.
oh god,
I don't want to hear, we have perfected the technology. It is here. The Xbox One X has taken control of this power. I don't want to hear that. And that's it. You can do whatever you want to do. Just don't bring that Connect back.
they're going to do that Connect 3, and they're going to be sitting like, oh, man. It's like, now we're going to demonstrate a game, and Rand comes out there and demonstrates a game.
Oh, Connect 3 tied to Fight Night. Oh, God, I would die right there on the spot. No, I would die on the spot. I would literally die on the spot. I would die on the spot.
You wouldn't even get to play because you died of a heart attack.
No doubt. Yeah, let's kill this thing, man. We went crazy long today. Dealer, I'm just going to give you an exclusive. This is just straight for Dealer because he missed a lot. But future of Microsoft is the last topic. We got to get out of here. This is strictly for you. Like, how do you feel they handle, the transition and possible release date in reference to the next platform?
The next Xbox?
Yeah, man.
Well, for sure they gotta be as cheaper. They're gonna come out at the same time or sooner, and they've got to have the same or better hardware. And even if they buy the same chip, right? Yeah. They could still invest money in superior cooling design to upclock the chip, right? There's all kinds of stuff they could do. So they got to have all of those things, I believe. And I don't know if you watched my PS5 2021 clip, because a lot of people even Red Dragon came out and said Sony did not say 2021, right?
Yep.
Now, according to the Wall Street Journal, he did say 2021. But in a roundabout way, he says we'll spend the next 3 years working on the 5th generation PlayStation. That's 2021. Now, I'm not saying, lock down for sure, but you never know. They could be tricking. That's an investors meeting. They can't lie to their investors like that. So the whole point of that meeting was to say, hey, we're crouching down for 3 years. Don't sell your stock. You'll regret it. All right, we're standing up in 3 years, and I'm definitely not standing up when I'm launching another PlayStation. I'm already standing up during that launch. I'm not crouching during that launch. So that launch to me says 2021, and according to Wall Street Journal, they say that he said that. So I will say that Microsoft had that much time to figure out what's going on. They actually got it really good this time. If this is true, they know when it's coming. They have enough time to figure out what's going on. That's enough time to get their games going. So they have to have compelling software. The price has got to be better or just the same. So hardware, the same thing. But now they got to convince all these people that have invested so much in digital goods. Like you got people that bought thousands of dollars worth of PS4 digital games, right? For the first time ever. That's like me leaving behind. Like, you imagine how much Sony would have to do to convince me to leave behind my 500 games?
Yeah, backward them not having backward, them not even trying to have backward compatibility would be an issue.
Well, they will have it this time, right? And the PS4 games will be playable, and that's what I tell these PlayStation guys. Like, you better not be excited about playing your PS4 games on your PS5, though, because this whole time you didn't care about the old games and the back-to-back stuff. So you definitely want to end up that way. But at the end of the day, Microsoft would have to do all that, but that's where it gets complicated, is because unlike the previous generations, you know, you got all this digital stuff that's going to come with you forever. Think of it like Steam. It's not going anywhere. PS4 games will be playable on the PS6, and you got to convince those guys to leave thousands of dollars worth of games behind and come over to the other platforms. So that means you got to do a lot. I mean, I don't even know what all they could do to convince the hardcore. I don't think they ever will be able to convince the crazy hardcore PlayStation guys to leave and come over to Xbox. But for the casual, you've got to be, the price is the biggest thing for the casual. So they just got to nail that. I don't think they're going to be behind in power again either. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. But 2021 is plenty of time to figure out that hardware, thanks to AMD roadmaps that are already out. I mean, you're going to have, you know, they already know what they're doing. And when it comes to the time frame, that should be enough time for them to get those new games out, right, Rand? You think that's more than enough time? 2021.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Like, all this stuff is all in preparation for the next hardware cycle, which is in 2 to 3 years. Which is why I don't expect them to show anything this year, because it's too far away, and it's for the next generation of consoles.
I mean, that makes sense, and I see where you're coming from. But historically, at least on Sony's side, they've showed stuff right at the end of the generation.
No, they didn't.
Last of Us came out in 2013, you know, and that was a year off, or the same year.
Right, but I mean, like, Sony wasn't showing PS4 games until that year when they announced the PS4.
Yeah, that's true.
That's which is exactly what
they didn't halt production on IPs.
That's
because of PS4.
Well, right, and that's the difference Microsoft didn't do. Like, they went with Kinect and Kinect games instead of making newer IPs and franchises at the end of last gen. You know, like,
and that makes it hard to predict everything, because Microsoft were in a flux. That whole back half there, Don Magic's like, no, they want board games, and everyone else like, hey, no, they want regular games, and no one knew what was going on. There's a big transition, and then Phil gets transitioned up again, and then Matt Booty's in. It's been a whole, you know.
But the question, dealer, I have for you, Rand, is that, do you think they can afford for Sony to drop first?
No,
this stage.
Microsoft has to be first, or bare minimum the same year.
Exactly.
Considerably more powerful. Maybe they can get away with it. Maybe.
Gotcha.
They cannot launch later and more expensive, even if they are more powerful. We've seen how that story goes.
Exactly.
And while the X has destroyed the PS4 Pro in sales, like comparatively, the two iterative upgrades, the Xbox guys, and I've always said this too, have had more of a reason to buy the new iterative upgrade than the PS4 guys have, because you've generally had pretty stable resolutions on the PlayStation, whereas if you're coming from an X1S, I mean, this is a pretty big, massive jump.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, because the difference between a PlayStation Pro and a stock PlayStation is very minimum.
Yeah, and a lot of that's Sony's fault, right, David? Because they just haven't put in the RAM to give you the better textures and stuff like the X can do.
Exactly. Yep.
Absolutely.
Exactly. It's a big upgrade. I tell everybody all the time, make sure that you get an X if you can afford an X. You know, because if you're playing on Xbox, that's really probably the only way to play right now.
Everybody's got what they got in for the future. We're gonna wrap this thing up, man. But shout out to Timdog coming through in the realm. You know what I'm saying? The X. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Tim was here, man. We was rocking.
No, the running gag is. The running gag is you and Timdog are the same exact person. Tim left, and I swear 5 minutes later, you popped up Okay, so and then you was having issues with your mic, so they said that you were getting your voice in.
Nobody's
so you're
Tim
actually
in the same place at the same time, you know.
I think you called me. I saw some notification from it, so I had to look at that again. But
It's all good, man.
shout out to Tim.
Shout out to Tim that came through, man. Tremendous love. And of course, shout out to Lord Rand in the building. Xbox Mafioso style, the Don himself. Where can the find you? And what do you have cooking up, man?
People can find me on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/RandallThor19. As for what I got coming up, I don't know. I really haven't any videos planned. I'll just play that stuff by ear, but I'm sure we'll be, me and Jez, since Jez isn't going to E3 this year, and neither am I.
Oh, imagine two of that coming. Dang.
We'll be doing probably a reaction show to Xbox after the conference is over, and who knows what else. I'm greatly looking forward to next week. It's like Christmas for me.
Yeah.
Nice. Absolutely.
I'm sure I'll be pumping out a lot of videos, so check me out there.
No doubt. Absolute pleasure, man. Love what you guys are doing. And of course, Lord Dealer, the Dawn of the RDX mob family. What's going on, man? Introducing.
I told you, it's that introducing. Notice he said that one and nothing else.
You notice that's what resonates.
Introducing.
Lord Dealer, man. Where can the find you? And what do you have cooking up, man?
Well, you can find me on Match.com.
Tinder. Swipe right, y'all. Swipe right.
David said yes.
Christian Mingles.
Christian
I don't know. I'm on farmersonly.com. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Hey, yo, that's the real thing, too.
You better
yeah, you can definitely find me at Dealer Gaming here on YouTube, at Dealer Gaming on Twitter, where we're just doing a BioShock collection giveaway with my buddy Cognito there. Fantastic games, by the way. I don't hear people talking about this remaster or remake, rather, because it's so good. It takes some of the best games of all time and makes them even better. So we're doing a giveaway there on Twitter. So if you haven't checked that out, check that out. And once again, just sorry for being late and having the issues I've had.
All good, man. You got the man lost power. You gotta cut him slack for that, man.
He's here, man. He came.
He came through, man. We were just appreciative to have you. Huge fan of what you guys are doing at RDX. Shout out to the crew, Batch. You got Shady, Fonz, Fraudarelli. We saw him in the chat earlier. Right? Also, man, shout out to Jez, man. Jez makes me laugh. He is so funny on Xbox too, man. I love what you guys are doing. That's cool. So let's get the outros going on. Lord Addict, man, what's going on with you, man? What we got cooking up? Any difficult games to conquer? What we got?
Probably gonna stream Neo today or Noah. I know someone in the comment section will correct me about 30 times. But feel free to do that. You can do it in the comment section too.
No doubt.
I do want to thank Diller, Ran, and Beast Timdog. We always be cracking jokes on each other, and it's nice to get everyone in the same.
Absolutely.
Well, not everyone in the same. Diller is Timdog. So.
Conspiracy theory.
So, would that mean I can make a fraud video on you if you pretend to be another person?
Exposed.
Yeah, if you want to go down that route, we've seen how these man watcher channels have died over the years.
I appreciate everyone for coming out, especially Ran. Ran knows everything, Ran.
Yeah.
Let's throw away the blame, Ran, and just say Ran knows everything. So his entire prediction video, expect all of that.
How? No. Dude, no.
And if it doesn't happen, attack Ran personally at Ran.
This is what I was missing. I was missing my right hand.
This is what I needed, that Dealer, man.
Prediction video.
Hey, Dealer, you realize people say that me and you have same personalities, don't you?
Well, they're really, really, really wrong.
Way funnier.
If you have any issues, forward them to Dealer.
Forward them to Rand at Rand_wrongpredictions at twitter.gmail.
Lord, stop.
They're just predictions, people. Like, there's a reason they're called predictions. So if they're wrong, they're wrong. It's not a big deal.
Lord,
right.
stop.
Unless you, of course, got a massive bet and you bet the dogs and the kids and shit on it.
Well, that's like my dude Kid Smooth. I think he's got some bets with Bond he's gonna lose.
Yeah, we
Oh
got some
my
bets going on. I
God.
know it's not good.
Let's talk about the list there, King David.
No, we're not gonna talk about that.
There ain't no list, man. Get out of here.
We not gonna
Stop it, Spotlight. There got your little
Stop.
spotlight right here. Stop it.
Mr. Patreon himself. We can find people find you. What we got going on with that?
We got what do we have going on with that?
We should
People can
probably
find
do
me
that.
on Twitter. Well, we're gonna finish out everybody's outro, and then we'll do that.
Yeah, they will do it. That's right. Sure. So where can they find
Find
you?
me on
That not
Twitter.
playing no games. Nobody.
Not playing no games until you put down on that Patreon and force me to do it. Until you force me to do it.
Fair enough. That's
You can find me on Lord Saab ILP on Twitter.
So,
Big
Sovereign,
shout out to
for me to
Rand.
finish that way out game. I gotta.
Yeah, you gotta
You
cough it
gotta
up.
pay the
homie.
Patreon to
Cough
play
it
no
up.
out with no way out.
You gotta cough it up.
This is some of the craziest shit I've ever heard, man.
Pay to play song.
Yeah, and I got some shit for just making like a custom stream thing for patrons. Like, you gotta pay to play games with this guy? No, I always play games for people. It's just that I like to do a little extra. Yeah. I'm not charging to play a way out. Come on, at least I would play a better game for some money.
Shots.
So quick, big shout out to Rand, to Dealer, to Beast for being here. Just ridiculous show. And a big shout out to the chat, man. You guys were over 150 strong the whole 3 hours we've been here. So you guys are amazing, man. Just fantastic.
I'd like to say real quick to the 150 strong, come back for the next ILP. Don't do some fraud shit and show up here today and then not show up next time.
Preach it, Dealer.
Support the show.
Because the Iron Lords podcast is one of the best podcasts in the game.
Appreciate
What
you.
day?
Thank you.
The day that it's on, that hour that it's on, it's the best fucking podcast there is.
What is that?
You should bring Iron Lords
Hey,
podcast to prime time.
Oh my God.
I'm calling TNT right now.
But it won't
Making
be
a
the
deal.
Lord's Day, Rand. It won't be the Lord's Day.
Let's move the time up there to that Wednesday. What time is Xbox 2 there, right?
Oh God.
Oh my God. Moving along.
We're not prime time. We're nowhere near on the level of RDX.
Woo!
We're not prime time like they are. But I mean, but of course, RDX is prime time. They got Colt Eastwood for Christ's
Colt
sake.
Eastwood.
That's
Forgot
premium.
about Colt.
That's premium
Yeah,
talk.
you got two fortune tellers on your show though, so I think it makes up for it. I see.
Where's the Chris?
I'm hearing it. Mikey Bar, is that you? Is that your voice, Mikey Bar? Like you're fucking telling everybody exactly what's going on. So you got a little bit of an advantage there.
Hey, Rand.
Trying to make it seem like they doing a Miss Cleo. Like it's a call me now. Like
Call me
Call me now.
Bumblefuck reading. Yeah.
Yo,
where you find you? Tell them what's going on with them shirts, man.
oh man, listen, you can find me on Twitter. Definitely you're gonna find me on Twitter at King David OTW. Listen, contrary to popular belief, every Lord can sell you a shirt. All right. I handle the shipping.
Lord King.
All right. So understand that if you're in contact with any of the Lords, they will take your order, and I handle shipping.
Speak for
all the
everyone.
shirts. We're gonna have a whole Mr. Spotlight. We're gonna have a whole segment of T-shirts and going through all that stuff and how to get it from us. So if you follow us, you understand pricing and everything. That's separate from this because we're doing Patreon today, and I want that to have its own spotlight. Thank you for everyone that has purchased shirts, that has contributed, that helps out ILP, that helps out the community. We're going to be in LA next week. We're going to be live streaming everywhere. Everywhere that you can find us, we'll be there. From the moment that I jump on the plane, I'm going to be live streaming to the moment I get off back in New York. I'm going to be live streaming. Okay. But all the support, thank you. All the 6 colorways is beautiful. Only the pink is a woman's cut.
Yes.
So I don't know how it will work for a guy. If a guy wants a pink for himself, I don't know how it's gonna work for you. It's a woman's cut.
He said Dylan wanted the pink. You're savage.
I was hesitant in saying that because I knew he was gonna do that. Right?
I was saying that in a minute, man. I was about to. The moment you opened that door, I was.
I already knew Attic was messing with it. Okay, finish up, man. We got to pay the bills.
Listen. Also, at the same time, there's a free card giveaway, right? And each card that's going to be given out is going to have the logo and the name of each Lord. All right. But also on that card will be a coupon. Okay. And that's part of the raffle. We're going to be doing a live when we get back to New York. That first ILP that Sunday will be live on air raffle giveaway for 3 games of your choice. I don't care if you play PlayStation, Switch, PC, Xbox, whatever. You win. It's your choice. It's your game. Y'all. Okay. So find us. Oh, one more thing. These are the special shirts. Okay. Show them real quick. So if you catch any Lord walking around wearing this shirt, you show him that you follow the Iron Lords podcast. Any Lord, it doesn't matter. All right, find out that Lord will have a card on him. He will give you a card, and for the raffle, for the free game. So you don't have to purchase at all to have a chance of winning a free game. All right, every shirt comes with a raffle.
God, King David is putting some Da Vinci Code shit. God, that's a giveaway right there.
Yeah. No doubt, man.
Shout out to the people watching. I'm OCD, man. Like the podcast. I needed 100, man. I needed it.
We need one more like, y'all. So pay the bills, man. We gotta get out of here.
All right, guys. We're just gonna give our big shout outs to our Patreon supporters.
Just saying, Rand and Billy, you can take off.
Yeah, Rand, if you got to bounce. We don't want to get me out too long, but we got to pay the bills. We got to keep the lights on.
Like I said before, we added 3 more tiers today to kind of represent myself and LordCognito and Lord Addict a little bit better.
Wait till you hear this shit.
Language. Little Lords are still listening.
We all know Lord Addict loves his tier. He loves it. So take a look at that. If anything that was there before didn't necessarily catch your eye, just take a look at those new tiers. And yeah, so just want to give a shout out to everybody who supported us from the jump. I'm gonna start off with Lord Michael Lugo. Thank you so much for your support, brother. You're in there every single day, every single week. You're in the chat. Yeah.
All right.
We got Lord Bill Stillwell. It's always an honor to have somebody in the industry just come out and rep like that. So that great honor to have him. Much appreciated. Then of course Lord Irrelevant Native, who's in the chat every single week supporting, buying ILP shirts. Thank you so much, Lord Native. Lord Spoon Man, again, always in the chat, always repping.
Facts. Working out and listening.
Yeah. And we go to Lord Cat Daddy Fat Stats.
Daddy.
Oh, I like that.
Much appreciate all that love, right?
Like
then we
hurry up, man.
Then we go to Lord Snail Killer, aka Diago Padrão. Thank you so much for the support, brother. We appreciate it. Lord Death Singer, again, you're in the chat every week. We appreciate all the love, man. And of course, last but not least, Lord Peter Leon. Thank you so much for all you've done. Peter Leon will be getting up with LordCognito to set up the time when he's going to be on the show. He's going to come on and do his greatness. Oh, and then Lord Death Singer, of course, he is going to be.
He gets to write us the intros.
He gets to do the whole thing, the whole shebang, the whole show.
Oh, Lord, that's gonna be
the
scary.
whole show. And Lord Diago Padro, he's gonna be doing the intros. He's gonna have intros all to himself. So guys, get at LordCognito, myself, any one of us in the DMs to sort of set up all that stuff in terms of scheduling. And we'll definitely get that going. So let's get into these giveaways real quick. We're gonna start with the $10 giveaway. Since Windows Update folded my whole microphone situation, I'm doing this off the phone, so I can't. I'm not screen sharing the random name picker, but be assured that you guys can trust me. I'm not.
Pay the place off.
Yeah, pay the place off. Okay. So we're gonna start out with the $10 card giveaway. Remember, it's a game card, a digital game card for, whatever platform of your choosing. More than happy to, whatever you want. Okay, so we're gonna start with the $10 game card, and the winner of that card is Lord Snail Killer.
Woo!
Lord Snail Diago Padro.
Yes.
So hit us in the DMs.
Yes, sir.
And we will take care of that. Okay, now the $20 card. We have the $20 card. And the winner of the $20 game card is Lord Cat Daddy.
Cat Daddy.
The winner of the Cat Daddy.
No doubt.
Congratulations. All right, and now, let's see. Now, the winner of our free T-shirt is
get that ILP
Lord
swag.
Spoonman. Lord Spoonman gets some free swag.
He always complaining in the gym.
Yeah.
And now, hold on one second. The winner of the free game, the bi-monthly free game giveaway is, drum roll please,
What we got?
Lord Peter Leone. He came. Lord Petey.
Petey coming off.
He getting off. Yeah, so Pete, let us know in the DMs what game you want. We're more than happy to get that out to you. Digital game. So yeah, again, guys, thank you so much for the support. Like again, this is humbling and baffling to us all at the same time. Like I said, we added some more tiers so you could torture us even more at your leisure. So
yeah, I'm on that.
So you mean torture me and you guys just play games? Gotcha.
That's on
the
you,
difficult
brother.
game conqueror.
That's just it. Yeah, man, hit us up. Like I said, Solve, you good? Everything's good, Lord Patreon?
Yeah, everything's good, man. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, we had to pay the bills. I'm sorry, y'all. But yeah, man, we're gonna be out there E3. You already know what it is. It's gonna be a big show. We're gonna try to do a lot of live stuff for you guys. Obviously, audio and all that good stuff is gonna come up. Oh, shout out to Ebontis. Flashpoint is gonna be coming up. We're gonna do a special one on Tuesday that will be live with the Gear 2
review. I gotta watch that.
Yeah, that's gonna be. If you want to jump in on the attic, let me know. We're gonna do that. But when we out on E3, Tick is gonna be in the building. We're gonna be running out there. It's gonna be me and Sam Tolbert. We're gonna be hitting the ground running, providing a lot of content, some stuff I cannot talk about right now. But please stay tuned to the channel. Lord King, you already know what's gonna be going down at FanFest. He's got a ton of things going on. Swag and Tag. Please follow us all over on social media. We got a lot of things. We're trying to make a huge presence there. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Again, Lord Dealer, Lord Rand, Lord Timdog, the Xbox Mafioso, La Console Nostra was in effect, baby. This thing of ours. That's what we had to do today. The dollars was dropped. Rand with one of the best personal rants ever. He was killing it today. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys. You guys are definitely, I'm a huge fan of you guys. And thank you for being on the ILP. Everybody enjoy your Sunday. If anybody got anything else to say, we can get out of here, man. Y'all good? All right. Peace.